There we go. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday morning, wherever you are in the world. We're glad that you're here. Um, we are here to provide you as much value and serve you at the highest level possible. I'm your host, Edward Pereira. My good friend and co-host Attila Hevesi is here with us, and we have two amazing guests. We have Einstein of today, literally Einstein, who's not. Who are you pointing to?
Trying to scratch something
Didn't
off
see
my
that.
screen here.
It should be diagonal. Should be right at Ed.
Oh, no, no, you're in the bottom right-hand corner, so you gotta point up to
Oh,
your left. So
I
that's,
got a different view.
that's
That's
right.
funny.
Yeah, sorry about that. So where Einstein is where I left off, Einstein dealt in theory, and not to short him in any way, shape, or form, but Mr. Barsano has created something that is not theory; it is in practice, and it's here just to serve you and with the opportunity to potentially improve your financial future through sovereignty, security, all of that kind of stuff, and we'll show you that today. And then um, uh, super duper crypto superstar, if you know Crypto Casey, and that's probably how you found
Yeah.
us. She joins us, and thank you, Casey, for diligently joining us and continuing to educate people live and allowing us to present to your audience. It's always a gas. We have fun, and people seem to get it, understand it, like it. They provide quality feedback. So we appreciate you always being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys too.
So with that, I'm going to share some expectations really quickly, and then we'll get busy. So this is a slide we created just a few weeks ago, and the question, what we'd like you to think about is, what scenario do you find yourself in now? Most people find themselves based on how the matrix, and I say the matrix because I spent 30 plus years as a federal agent inside the matrix, so I know what it's programmed to do, which is to keep you uninformed and poor, for the lack of a longer um, explanation. They teach you how to go to school, get yourself in all kinds of debt, get a job, and trade time for money, making money for other people while you generally start out and sometimes stay not in a position where you would like to be. Scenario one, if you find yourself in that's the rat race. The majority of people out there, 95% of the people, are getting jobs, trying to pay off their bills to include their schooling, just living from paycheck to paycheck. The national average just in the US is that the average household has less than $1,000 in savings. I don't know about you, but that in my household, that would last about 15 minutes. So if you find yourself in scenario number one, we want to we don't want you to stay there. If you find that you're double income, and kids and cats and cars and soccer practice and all that kind of stuff, that you generally going to find yourself in a middle class trap, which is the system, or the matrix, as I mentioned, teaches you how to improve your credit, because if you improve your credit, it qualifies you to go further in debt. That is, to buy liabilities, and a home is a liability. Granted, everybody needs a home and a roof over their head, but if all you're doing is making a big salary, spending it on bills, and spending it on liabilities, not assets, granted, your house will probably appreciate over time. But if you find yourself in those two scenarios, what we're going to show you today is going to empower you to think about and start moving towards scenario three. So type free in the chat if financial freedom makes sense to you. If you're already there, great. If you're not, then we want you to be there. So the best way to do that is to find yourself in an opportunity where you can create or take advantage of income producing assets, right? You see up in the right hand box, You see rental property cash flow, dividends, right? There are only a couple of ways in the market today, engineered against you on purpose, for you to be able to pay passive cash flow. You can own a bunch of rental properties, but you end up with the three T's: toilets, trash, and tenants. I personally, I think we all have experienced that, and that's not necessarily where you want to spend your time because it is not passive. It is active because you have to babysit everything all the time. And oh, by the way, take all of your cash flow profits and maintain the properties. Now, you could own a bunch of stocks that spit out dividends, but you'd have to own a lot of stocks to be able to put yourself in financial freedom. And you can do that over time. But I'll tell you what, if you, if the only plan out there with your 401k and you're building a little bit of stocks and all of that stuff takes 40 years in your 401k, you're putting money in and maybe you're getting matched by your employer, but that's for someday. That's 40 years from now, maybe for most people. And I can tell you that life happens, and somewhere in between, you're going to need to borrow from that 401k. And guess what? All of that asset appreciation that you may have accumulated goes away in penalties and fees, and of course, the money that you take out for emergencies. So, with that, what we're going to show you today is an income producing asset that is literally set it and forget it. You set it up once. We're going to talk about security. We're going to talk about safety and all of the things that prevent you to be from being scammed in the market, right? Because if there's a good thing out there, somebody's trying to scam you. So I'm going to show you just quickly a couple more slides. Okay, maybe. There we go. Just take a look at these three words across the top. Automation. We're going to show you automation because we're not going to give you, oh, this is great, 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 but you got to spend another 106 hours a week to be able to do it. We don't want to give you more to do, nor do you want more to do. So we're going to show you an automated system that provides consistent cash flow. We're going to talk factually today. We're not going to talk about what if the sun comes up in the west and sets in the east. We're going to talk about what has actually happened. We're also going to talk about safety and security, which I just mentioned, because it is paramount in this space where you maintain 100% control of everything that happens in your financial life. So we'll show you that. So, quick disclaimer, we're not here to give you any tax, legal, investment, financial, accounting advice. We are here to show you a proven system that simply makes your life better and puts more money and cash flow in your pocket. Last thing I'll say is that I once, and have been several times in my life, been in a situation where I was in scenario number one, where I was making enough money just to maybe pay my bills and sometimes not. And I ended up in a situation where I had more month at the end of my money, and that's never comfortable. We want to put you always in a position of having more money at the end of your month so you have peace to be able to buy your time back and spend it with the people that you love. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to
Before you do that, can I ask a question about that disclaimer?
Yes, sir.
If we're not giving them financial advice and all that stuff, well, what are we doing here?
Well, we're
Because, I
sharing.
mean, isn't this kind of financial advice, really?
Well, no, it is
Let
sharing.
me answer that. Let me
I'm
answer
just
that.
teasing you, man. I know.
Well, no, it's
We're not
actually,
investment advisors.
it's actually a good point. But here's what I say to that. And in
Because
all
we do
ser-
know a lot. I know this software inside and out, and I know how to
yeah,
get the most out of this software.
here's the bottom line. When we have something that is as powerful and as proven as GoBabyTrade, we don't need to sell it. We just need to educate people on the fact that it exists and how it works. And that's why we're here today. We don't give a rat's, you know what, if anybody that doesn't own the trader right now doesn't buy it. We don't care. We all own it. We're all making money in our sleep. We just want to get you the information. You be the decider. You know, a wise mentor of mine many years ago, like 25, 30 years ago, said, look, Attila, your mind's like a parachute. It only works when it's open. All of the mega billionaires in the world would not be billionaires if they had a closed mind. And they said, oh, that can't be possible. There's no way.
True.
And then they say, oh, I'm not even going to look at it and try to find out if it is possible. So all we ask of people in reality, right, Casey,
Right.
is an open mind. And Casey herself tested this for many months before she made the decision to launch a video on August 25th, 2024, and let all of her viewership know about it and enlighten her viewership that, hey, you don't have to, but I'm using this. It works for me. If you want to use it, it's all good. So anyway, with that, let me parlay into my portion, which is to enlighten you on how I met Ed Barsano. And this was 14 years ago. Ed Barsano came out of the Navy, ended up getting a job with Microsoft. Actually, one of the first 350 programmers and developers at Microsoft, worked there 8 years, top dog, rock star. He doesn't like it when I say that, but he was, because he wasn't working on projects that needed improvement. He was starting things from scratch that had never been developed, and he was really good at it. So consequently, when he retired, a young man, 5 years later, he got his butt kicked in the stock market crash of 2000. And that's when, fortunately, he got his butt kicked because he decided, look, I'm going to level the playing field. This is obviously a rigged game. I'm going to level it, and I'm going to create something where the average person, not the people on Wall Street, not the uber wealthy, the average, the masses, can make money in the stock market without gambling and without doing anything. Set it and forget it. You're going to hear us say that a lot today. So he did that, and he launched it in 2021. I met him in 2012. I bought the
Oh, wait,
trade.
I launched it in 2001.
What did I say?
2012.
2012.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's when I met you. He launched it in 2001. He started building it in 2000. And so this has been around 25 years. That's why I said earlier, it's proven. It's not, does it work? Can it work? Will it work? It's been working 25 years effectively. So for those of you that are new, let me give you a quick 35 to 40 second. If I walked in an elevator, and those of you who are new today and do not own the trader were on that elevator, and somebody said, hey, Attila, tell me about that trader. How does it work? Here it is. You own some cryptos in your trader, and in a set it and forget it fashion, when it goes up a certain percentage, let's say 3% or 5%, boom, it takes the profit for you. On the way down, when the crypto goes down 3%, it'll buy more for you at a discount. In both cases, an AI that was designed by Ed Barsano can kick in and say, wait a minute, don't make that buy or sell yet, because I see a 95% probability it's going to keep going up or keep going down, depending on which way it's going. And that's how the AI works in essence. And if anybody has a question on the AI, we're going to get into a Q&A really quick here today. So that's the bottom line. It never sells at a loss. You don't have to interact with it. It's set it and forget it, or another way of saying it is 100% unattended. And what happened was, just to continue the story, I bought the trader in 2012, and then Ed Barsano teamed up with a marketing company. I helped in that regard. We sold $16 million worth of licenses. This is a 3-year license, folks. In 2 years, $16 million, a lot of business. Then Ed Barsano went back to being solo, and in 2018 sold out to a hedge fund. Now, in March of 2024, I was sitting at my desk, and I had a thought about Ed Barsano because I was frustrated, and I remembered how I need to multiply my crypto in a safe and secure fashion. And that's when I remembered, oh my gosh, Ed Barsano probably, more than likely, developed a trader for crypto at this point. And I called him. I had his phone. We spoke for 3 hours. He did. He said, I launched it, Attila, in 2021, April. And he said, this is light years ahead of the stock trader. I said, how come? He said, number one, stocks trade 5 days a week, 6.5 hours a day. Cryptos 24/7, 365. That alone is a big advantage. Let's face it. More than double the time. Number two, he said, Attila, you know that to make money in any kind of trading worldwide, you must have lots and lots of volatility. Cryptocurrency has that, lots and lots of volatility. It's perfect, much more than stocks. Number three, he said, it's not downloadable software anymore. Back in the day, it took 90 minutes to download. and set up. He said, I made it web-based. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So he said, look, if you buy the license again, right now, I'll have you trading live in less than 10 minutes. I said, giddy up, let's do it. I bought the trader March of 2024. And in 8.5 minutes, he had me connected to my exchange. But number four is the kicker. Number four should be the most important to all of you. And that is this, that he created an API connection to our own Kraken or Coinbase accounts. So the trader just tells Coinbase and Kraken what to buy, what to sell, and when, and how much. You control your money. Okay, so I lost a lot of money in the last 5 years in 5 different blockchain crypto cash flow projects. And I lost that because I sent my money off or my crypto off to a third-party exchange and wallet. When things went south, I couldn't get to it. Not the case here. That's very important and should be to all of you. So the bottom line, when we say set it and forget it, we mean it. And Ed Barsano, literally, keep this at the forefront of your minds. He created something nobody's done before in the world. For the average person, you don't have to be an accredited investor without knowing anything about trading, without knowing anything about crypto, really. You could now automate a portion of your financial life and you could make money in your sleep. That's the bottom line. So, Casey, I don't know, before I introduce Ed, I don't know if you have any thoughts. Today is Saturday, and thoughts maybe about the market or about GoBabyTrade, and then we'll introduce Ed. And Ed, I'd like you to go right to your trader, if you don't mind, after you make a few comments and share with people, and we'll get into the Q&A.
Sure. So I am at Edward and Attila through a friend that had nothing to do with crypto. So it's funny, I'm in a business venture with this friend, and I had one rule: don't talk about my YouTube channel because this other business had nothing to do with crypto. I just wanted to be a silent financier, like silent partner. And he was at a networking event and he met Edward, and Edward mentioned that he was in blockchain tech. And he's like, oh, you should meet my friend Casey. She's also in it. I'm like, okay,
Rule
great.
broken. Rule
So
broken.
then set up a meeting. They show me this product. I didn't really like, set it, forget it. I didn't like any of the spiel. It just screamed scam to me. But unbeknownst to them, because part of what my YouTube channel is all about is I buy stuff, test it out, and if it's going to provide value, I make a video about it. So I bought it for $4,500, tested it out for a couple months, and it was extremely interesting. And at that point, then I met Ed, creator, and after what, 8, 9 months of using it, I decided, you know what, it's working for me. I'll let people decide if it's something that makes sense for them too. Made the video, and here we are now. In fact, even on this the financial intelligence for you, the little community, I see people have said that in a couple months, people have already paid off the subscription with the results. So
How
that's
great is
nice.
that? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
Thanks,
great.
Casey. By the way, I want to make sure if you're new here, you may be wondering, like, who the heck is Edward and Attila? Who are they? Well, we act as the kind of the educational and support system for Crypto Casey's audience as it pertains to GoBabyTrade. So that's
You know, you're a comic relief, but go ahead.
Speaking of comic relief, Ed Barsano.
Yeah, actually, let me jump in the middle. Casey,
Oh,
thanks for mentioning the our private community. Anybody that's not a member of it, I just put it in the chat. Please do consider becoming a member. We
yeah.
put out some special reports that if you're not a member of the community, you'll never see them. But excuse me, it's another great place to interact, understand a little bit more about the universe of this trader, understand about the educational platform of financial intelligence. Mentioned just before we went live, we have a book that is going to publishing now. So once you plug into us, you're plugging into a data stream of over 100-ish years of finance, business, crypto Casey, the one of a kind technology and software platforms. All of them, as Attila said, all of it is to your benefit. So we are taking time out and we put thousands of hours into educating people for the purpose of making your life better, right? Your choice is to say yes or no. So
One
with
of
that,
one of the well,
go
let
ahead.
me just say, Edward, to everybody, one of the chapters is dedicated in the book to the technology of GoBabyTrade, so people can understand why it would behoove them to automate a portion of your financial life.
Yep.
Automation, this thing is so amazing today in 2026. Imagine how amazing it was in 2001 when it was launched. People just couldn't believe it. And it was definitely more cumbersome as far as downloading it and setting it up, but still, once you did that, it was still 100% unattended. Set it and forget it. So it's just great it's almost like self-driving cars. They're coming to the forefront. It's not trusted yet. It's not what's it called?
Adoption.
Mass adoption yet, but it's coming. It's around the corner, and people are going to actually automate that part of their lives where they're not going to be in the driver's seat anymore. So everything is coming to that. So anyway, I just want to throw that in. Edward, were you ready to introduce Mr. Barsano, or you want me to?
Trying
Indeed.
to get me introduced?
Indeed. Well, no, the man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Stop talking about me like that.
Actually, I was talking about myself.
I knew it wasn't about me.
We are blessed, as we talked about in the introduction, to have Mr. Ed Barsano, literally someone that at Microsoft earned the reputation of, if something didn't exist and somebody had this harebrained idea that it could exist from a technological perspective and a coding perspective. This gentleman has impossible removed from his vocabulary because he has created something that doesn't exist anywhere else, and against an ocean of people and sentiment that said it could never be created. However, he did. So with that, Mr. Barsano, thanks for blessing us with your presence and your technology and your 100 and some years of work in this in building this.
Please. I'm
And
only
he was
29 years old.
he was hired
Okay,
he was
so
hired at
first
Microsoft.
off,
I'm sorry, I just
pardon-
want to say that you told us this story that you were hired at Microsoft even though they thought you were quote unquote scary or something like that. Remember on your exit interview, the comment
that was
thing?
a comment somebody wrote on the interview sheets. He wrote at the bottom of the interview sheet. He wrote intense, scary. However, I didn't read that until I was checking out of the company 8.5 years later.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
thinking, boy, if I would have known he wrote that 8.5 years ago, it might have influenced my behavior going forward. But I
right.
didn't know he wrote that. So the whole place was a war zone for 8.5 years.
So you would have been more scary and more.
I would have been less scary. I might have toned it back a little. I don't know.
Not, no, no, that's not, that setting is not on your
It's
dashboard,
pretty
sir.
bad when you go to an interview and argue with 30 programmers right out of the gate.
And then they hire you.
Yeah. For starters, I'm gonna take a drink of my smart water before I get started.
Does that actually help?
So maybe, I don't know, it's psychological. There's Do you really think this is water, folks? It's vodka. No, I'm kidding. So no, what you said in 2001, I don't have a notepad with me this time, so I have to memorize what you were talking about. But in 2001, you said when I released that, it was something like, can you imagine, when I delivered something like this and nobody could even imagine, what it was. And it hasn't changed. In the last 25 years, it hasn't changed. The software is not the challenge for me. I can deliver the impossible. I've been delivering the impossible for 50 years. You know, on all the projects I ever worked on, people always said, "Oh, that can't be done," and I do it. But the challenge for the last 25 years has been the people, not the software.
Uh-huh.
The people are brainwashed. They just can't fathom that. And I can give you example after example of how logical it is and how common sense it is. But yet, for some reason, they refuse. If I said, if you flip this coin, it's either going to come up heads or tails. Can you imagine if people are denying that and arguing with you over it? It's like, are you serious? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be heads or tails unless it lays on its side. But even that would be, people would argue about that, which which freaks me out because I live in the common sense realm. I just, when you're a programmer, everything is if then else, right? It's either if this, then this, else this. It's not, that's it. There are your choices. There aren't any more, So it's not as hard as you wanna think it is, really. First you have to create some obvious things to understand. First off, if you're gonna automate the market, you got to know how to make money in the market. Otherwise, you're going to have an automated trader that automatically loses money, right? So that was the first thing I had to be able to do is, as the developer, before I create this automated trader, I got to say, I don't want to automate a losing strategy. I have to automate something that's going to actually make money because that computer is going to be running unattended. It's going to be running and it's got to grind out money and deal with all the stuff that the world is throwing at it all by itself because at 2 in the morning I'm sleeping and that auto trader is still running, making decisions and buying and selling and all. So it's the people that have always been the challenge for me. One of the common sense things to understand, and maybe you need to write this down if you don't, if you're having a hard time with it. A coin can only drop 100%. It's just a number, that's a finite number. It can only go, if the company goes out of business, it can only go to zero. That's a 100% drop. If I invest $1,000, the most I can lose if the company goes outright out of business without any buying and selling, because if it buys and sells, then I'm making more money. But if the worst case scenario is it drops straight down and goes out of business, I've lost 100%. However, if I'm buying and selling, if it goes lower and I buy more and then I sell that, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, this is unlimited. It's infinite. I can make 20,000% in profits. If you can understand that concept, because that apparently people are having a hard time with that. And I don't see how you could be, but I don't know. Am I missing something? Because you're just going to keep pumping money. And if all that money's going into a save bucket, it's like throwing marbles in a jar. Just keep throwing them in there. You're going to watch that jar spill over. And it's undeniable. It's real money. That those profits got to go somewhere. If I buy something at one price and I sell it at a higher price, where did that money go? I don't have any overhead, right? I'm not running a 7-Eleven here where I have employees and a lease and utilities. And then, I got to buy all this material and then hire somebody to sell it at the cash register. I don't have any of those expenses. I just plow money into the account and the auto trader buys and sells. So if you understand the concept, then you know you can't lose. But therein lies the challenge. So when Attila, you mentioned that elevator pitch, I like
Yeah.
that. Because I'm thinking, I actually do have an elevator pitch. I never thought about it, but I do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because I mention crypto everywhere I go.
that's the short version.
I
Yep. Well,
always
yeah, Ed,
I
let me
always say so. Are you in cryptos?
yeah. Hey Ed, let me comment on if you understand the concept. Well, part of the matrix programming is that right, you're either a buy and holder or a long-term investor as a retail investor, and everybody tells you buy and hold and do this and your future will be brighter. Well, part of the programming when you talk about trading, whether it's stock trading, whether it's forex trading, crypto trading that we're talking about, is the matrix also has it when they're talking this way, they're doing something else over here to distract you, and the reason why is they have made it. When you said, "Oh, do you trade crypto?" Well, people go, "Well, I don't know how to trade crypto," and there's all these prognosticators and all of these pieces of software out there that will show you indicators of whether the market's going up or down or sideways or something, that they have they've turned the water from clear to milky to make it appear complicated that anybody could trade and trade successfully. Well, without what you have created, everybody's taking a risk, everybody's guessing. Even if you've spent years and years programming, or not programming, but training
Trading.
to be a trader, right? You're trading, you're learning tools and concepts within a rigged game. The reason why it fails is because you're being misdirected and mistaught to always lose, right? Unless you're one of the big players that has all the money. It is the king playing the game or the queen playing the game, and you are the pawn 100% of the time on everything, with the exception of the software that you've created. Not only takes all the mystery out of it, not only takes all the risk and money management out of it, but it automates it because people don't have to learn how to trade. They can just plug into a system that works for them in their sleep. Does that make
Well,
sense?
it's like your microwave oven, man. You just push the buttons and
Yeah,
let it do what it does. I
exactly.
mean, if you think about the technology we have out in the world, there's a lot of things that are fully automated. I see a
It's
lamp
funny.
over there. I turn on the switch, the light goes on. I don't have to know how the damn light bulb works. Frankly, I still don't understand how a light bulb works.
I'm glad you brought up the example of the microwave because I almost brought it up a few minutes ago when I spoke of the automated cars coming to the forefront. So that's a great example. Yeah, we just pushed
Yeah, I
it.
don't even understand cars. You open up the engine and the lid
Yeah.
on the hood on a car, it's like, holy Toledo. It's not
Uh,
like the old days when you could actually look at an engine and see all the components. Now it's just big block in there. It's like, I hope I don't have to touch any of that.
Mhm.
But yet, I mean, I don't need to know all that to drive my car, and really, and that's what's going on here. So when you mentioned, Attila, that, I sold the other company, I don't want to scare anybody thinking I just throw things away. What I sold was the original company was downloadable software onto your computer. And if it's running on your computer, then now all of a sudden I got to worry about, as doing support, what happens if something happens to your computer? What if you do a Windows update and you got a problem? What if your internet goes down? You got a problem because then your auto trader wouldn't be able to run. So I did that for 20 years. And I said, enough. And I had 40 support people. So can you imagine? I mean, I'm a programmer, man. I don't want to have 40 support people. I was going nuts. The software wasn't driving me nuts. The people were driving me nuts. My own employees were driving me nuts. So I sold that company and I put right at the bottom of the contract, you'd have loved this contract. Right at the bottom in big bold letters, I wrote, I will be competing with you if you sell this software. See, they bought the software. It was a hedge fund that bought it. They were running a lot of auto traders, of my auto traders. And then I said, and I talked to him. I said, do you want to buy this? And so you own it forever. You don't have to buy any more licenses from me and all. And you can own it. And if you want to continue selling licenses, go ahead. But I'm going to rewrite the software, I told them, a different way. And they said, hey, we don't care about that. So they were happy, to buy the software. So I sold them the software and I rewrote the software to be web-based so that it runs on my servers. So I have control of the software. So that way it's always running on my servers. And I don't have to worry about what's going on your side because the software is web-based. You can just go to a browser, any browser on your Mac, on your phone, wherever. If you can get to a web browser, you can bring up your trader and see it. I'm going to bring it up here in a second.
yeah,
So,
good.
It's funny you should say that because I now have it on my TV.
Mhm.
oh yeah, that's cool. Um, I have better things to watch on TV than a browser, than a
Well,
web app.
no. The trader. My Go Baby
Yeah.
Trade account is on my
Yeah,
TV.
you can just watch it on anything that's web-based. Yeah. So I like what you said though, Attila, about the elevator pitch though, because literally everywhere I go, I mention crypto. And everywhere I go, I get the same response from everybody. They look at the floor, the ceiling, the walls,
Uh-huh.
but they don't look at you because they're like, I don't know, what did he just say? That dirty word, crypto. And I'm like, man, because when I turned on the auto trader, when I automated the market to go web-based, I automated the stock version of it in 2020. And then sitting around doing nothing for a year because it's like, well, I don't have much support to do because the auto trader's running and nobody's got a lot of questions. I'm you can bring it up anytime you want. There it is. You see it making money every day or every other day, whatever the market's doing, it's buying and selling. So there really was not a lot to do. And then this guy, L. Powell, who's been using my auto traders for probably 15 years at that time, he said, why don't you automate the crypto market? And I looked at the crypto market and I said, well, that's just like the stock market. Only there's a difference here. It runs 24 hours a day, and the stock market is only on 6.5 hours a day. And especially, it kills me when I'm helping somebody when I used to help people with their stock trader, and it was like a Friday, and the market's already closed, and then Monday happened to be a holiday, and I'm like, dear Lord, you ain't even gonna be running this thing for another 4 days. It's like, this is awful, man. Compared to the crypto market, it's like 24/7, 365 days a year, man, day and night. While you're sleeping and everything, it's just pumping out money. You got that market trapped. And so when I turned on the auto trader for the first time in 2021 for cryptos, man, I went, oh my God, when I saw the volatility, I noticed something real fast. Stock prices move like this. Crypto prices move like this. They jump around.
Yep.
A crypto will jump up 50%, man. In 5 minutes, it'll go boom. And then the auto trader sells off all the inventory that it had that it bought under it, and it just sells it off profitably. And then the coin 5 minutes later drops right back down. I'm like, holy Toledo, this is gold for an auto trader.
Hey,
So
Ed,
let's go ahead and
yeah,
jump into it.
yeah, perfect. That's what I was going to
Hold
ask you
on.
because I see a few new names popping on, which is really cool. Names I don't recognize, so I want them to see the trader and the method to your madness on how this all works.
Yep. I just brought up what happened last week to talk to your example. Ed, talk about L3 spiking. Can you see my screen?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that was a beautiful day. Yeah.
Yeah, look when it did it. It did it at 4:13 in the morning. I don't know about you, but I was sleeping.
Yeah, I think I was just going to bed around then. But yeah, no. I mean the other day, somebody sent me a picture of I think Swift took off and he said he sent me on my cell phone, a picture of his trader. And um And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, you made $1,100, last night at 1:30 in the morning, And I looked and I said, "Oh, that's Swift." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I trade Swift in one of my traders." So I went and looked at mine right away, and mine I took $1,500 in profits on that in that one move. Boom,
Yep.
at
There's another
1:30 in the
example.
morning. I
X.
actually was sleeping at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, were you sleeping when XCN a couple of days ago skyrocketed?
I
It
know they
sold
just keep doing this crazy moves,
all these
and
positions off at 1:23 a.m. all at
Wow,
the
once.
auto trader never misses a move. You got that market trapped.
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All
Yeah.
right.
Go ahead and share your screen, Ed.
Okay. So let's see. I'm running for remotely here on a couple computers, so I got to figure out where am I going here. I would like to show. I think if I share my screen.
Justin Reese says, like an oil well, only better. It's so funny because one of the examples Ed's going to show you is a bucket and a well of how
Oh yeah,
much
right.
it can create, how much profit it creates.
Let me see if I can jump to this. Oh, I know here. Because I'm remotely connecting to a few computers. And so I got things jumping around here. Here we go. Here's the bucket Noel. This here is what I was talking about before. A coin can only drop 100%. Just like picture a bucket if it was water. The bucket has to go all the way to the bottom to get the water, has to go all the way to the top and dump it out. Okay? I mean, this is just common sense, right? We all know this. Everything about the auto trader is common sense, you're going to see. And it can't go halfway down and then go back up. It would be an empty bucket of water, right? But with the crypto market, it doesn't have to go all the way down and doesn't have to go all the way up. Just go 3% down, buy, 3% up, sell. Now you're naturally thinking, what if it goes lower and I'm still sitting on that loser? Don't worry about it because you're going to keep pumping money down here for the rest of your life. It's going to overtake that 3% that one's down, or in this case 6% that one's down and 3% that one's down, because you're just going to keep pumping money here forever. So they can mess with you and try to drive the market down, a big downtrend, but you're just going to keep pumping money. And then you also have the market trapped, like it can never go above these. If it does a bounce like that, like ECN did 2 or 3 days ago, when it popped up like that, what did it do? It went up like, was it 50% or 100%? I don't even know. It just went up so much that, I mean, we sold off all that inventory. You sell off anything you're sitting on.
Yeah, it
You're
went up
just
over
constantly,
60% in a matter of minutes, and then that was in the middle of the night. It was at 1 o'clock in the morning.
yeah. Right. It was at 1:30 on my trader closed all just a buttload of positions out. But it just this is what the market's doing, and this is what the auto trader takes advantage of. It's just constantly taking money. I make it look so darn simple. You know why? Because it is so darn simple. When you take away all the misinformation out there and strip away all that negative, connotations and negative all the lies and the schemes. Like I've sat in trading houses and listened to the instructors talk, and I'm like, there's no way that instructor really trades the market. He's lying, because if he really was trading the market and the things he's with the stuff that he's saying, he would be losing money all day long. There's no stop loss in this trader. Think about that. Because now if that bothers you, then you've been brainwashed into thinking that you need stop losses. You're worried about something going the wrong way. Well, don't worry about that. That's the reason people lose all their money, is because if it goes the wrong way and they sell their positions at a loss instead of just keep pumping money forever. This is nothing more than a grocery store. You put product on the shelf and you sell it at a higher price. It's not that hard. This is called commerce. Commerce has been around for thousands of years. I didn't invent commerce. You put product on the shelf and you sell it at a higher price. What this does, what's different about GoBabyTrade and anything else is most people put all their money in up here, and when it goes down here, they don't have any money to trade with. That's why if you put all your money in up there and it starts to go the wrong way, you really have to sell right away because, oh, you guessed wrong. But in our case, you can never guess wrong. It doesn't matter, because just keep pumping money for the rest of your life, literally. So this is what I was saying. A coin can only drop 100% for you to lose 100% of your money. But as long as it wiggles for the rest of your life, you're just going to keep taking money. If you think about the stock market, think of these companies: Microsoft, Intel, Dell, Qualcomm, Nvidia. I mean, Google. I mean, is Google a publicly traded company? I think so.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Meta. I mean, these companies aren't going out of business. You can just pump money forever. I know so many people that just trade one coin in the stock market, SLV, silver, on 3% moves up and down. And literally for the last 15 and even 20 years, some people. That's all they trade in their stock trader is one symbol, SLV. And it just it just pumps money forever. They're already up probably 1,000% already. It doesn't even matter where anything goes. Silver went to 100 and it went back down to 60, and they're just constantly just pumping money on the way up, pumping money on the way down. You're just nonstop pumping money. And really, once you have an auto trader, you're just going to put all your money in there, and just the more money it has, the more money it makes. 100% of $10,000 is a lot more than 100% of $1,000 if you're making 100% a year returns. And 100% a year really is only 8% a month. Now what's happened over the last year is the coin's been really going down hard. They've been really pushing these coins down hard, trying to drive people out, and it's working all over the country. People are just dumping their shares at a loss. And I'm like, wow, that's just awful. But if you're a buy and holder, if you loaded up all your money at the top and you're not doing what we're doing, trading down at the lower prices constantly, then really what do you have to do besides just sell it at a loss? Otherwise, you got to wait for it to go all the way back up to the top to break even with us.
Ed, can you pull up the L3 chart? Because it's like a lot of people have been making a lot of money on it, but if you look at the chart, it's terrible. If you bought it and you still have it and you're not trading it, it's just
Oh, when you see it down here, people are just freaking out. And I'm like some people call
zoom
me
out
and
to the
say,
month or the year.
oh, over a year?
Yeah, because is it
Month
just
or
yeah,
year.
it's just down. If you bought it last year and you just
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
trading it, terrible.
And yeah, you don't, yeah, people, that's the thing. It looks, for buy and holders, this is a nightmare
And that's what
because
most
they're
like
not,
probably
because they go
95%
in
of
up
cryptos look like.
here and they're missing all the money here, all the wiggles.
Say
Whereas,
again. Say again, Casey.
what would,
Oh, I mean, probably over 95% of altcoins look exactly like this chart.
look like
Everybody's
this.
underwater.
This is why everybody hates crypto out there because they don't know what they're doing and they're just dead because they went in up here and now it's all the way down here at the bottom, and they're just losing because it's got to go all the way back up there before they can break even. With us, people call me sometimes and they'll say, "Should I stop my auto trader from buying more because it's like down, down here?" And I'm like, "No, the biggest money you're going to make is what you buy at the lower prices because when it bounces like that, you just sold off anything below that price." And these constant bounces, anything you bought in here that you didn't sell already on the wiggles, which you probably sold a bunch of it already on the wiggles, but when it makes that pop like that, anything you bought above that or below that peak right there, you just sold off.
And can you show them the layer two screen where, all the manipulation and stuff's happening?
Right. Now yeah, we'll go in. Let's go into let's look at my trader now. I'm gonna bounce off this screen for a second. This is where I have to go remotely. Boom. Okay.
Boom.
So here's a trader. These guys know I have lots of traders. I have multiple traders. Um, so in this trader, I started this one with 50,000 in April of 24, and it's been just taken and taken. And what Crypto Casey was talking about is these level 2 screen here, this data here. See this L2. See, most people don't know what this level 2 screen is. This is your orders when you float them out in public view to the exchange. If you tell the exchange, like say you buy something at one price and you want to sell it at a higher price and you put that sell order out there ahead of time, you say, if it goes to that price, close my position and take the profit. Okay? The problem with doing that is you're putting your order out there in public view, in front of the institutional computers, in front of professional traders all over. I sat in a day trading house in 2001, a professional trading house, and I bought some Microsoft at that time, And then I just threw the question out because I'm very vocal, a whole room full of programmers. I said, how do I know when to sell this Microsoft that I just bought? And somebody walked up on my right shoulder and he said, that's easy. You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him.
Uh-huh.
And that blew my mind because, like, you ever see your target price? Oh, I almost spilled that. Um, where you put a price out there and say, I want to sell it if it goes to this line, to this price, and you see it approach your price, but then always keep backing off of it and it won't quite hit it. And then it eventually just goes down like that. It's because they dried up all the buyers. Why would I pay $10 a share for something if I could buy it for $9.80 or $9.50? So they dry up all the buyers. They keep buying and selling right under you. They keep buying right under this price right here, this bottom one, the best ask price. And this is the best bid price down below. And then so I learned right away. The first thing I did with the autotrader, because I was developing it in 2001, that's when I first released it. I started enhancing it. I said, oh well, let's hide all the orders. So and that made a world of difference. I'm like, wow, now these prices are actually going through my profit goal like hot butter. They're not. It's no pauses there because I'm not floating my order around here. So nobody knows what the auto trader is doing. The auto trader is invisible even to the exchange, to Coinbase or Kraken. They don't know what you're doing. They just see orders coming at it that says buy this right now, sell this right now. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what your target prices are. So I mean, it's like you wouldn't play poker. We all know to hide our cards in poker. Even if you don't even play poker, you know that you should hide your cards. But if you're sitting in front of a mirror and people can look in the mirror and see your cards, you don't want that, right? Well, that's the problem is the market is rigged against the public. So everybody is looking at your cards, all the professionals. They're tearing up the public. I've said it for years. The public doesn't have a prayer, man. There's no way they can win. Not only because the market's rigged in that sense, but because the people are just brainwashed like stop loss. If you change the name of stop loss to lock in loss, would you use the indicator? You would certainly think about it a lot more, wouldn't you? Wow, I'm locking in that loss. I'm not really stopping a loss. I'm locking in a loss. It's like, that doesn't sound like normal. I created the auto trader when I created it. I didn't even create a stop loss in my original trader. I made up an indicator called lock-in loss. I thought I invented it. And then somebody called me and said, what is that lock-in loss? I said, that's if you buy a coin at a higher or a stock at a higher price and it goes down and you want to lock in that loss. He said, isn't that a stop loss? I'm like, what's a stop loss? I mean, I automated the market. I couldn't have told you what a stop loss is. You know why? Because it's probably the most illogic indicator to ever use. But millions of people use it because that's what they're taught in school. And when I even present to live audiences, and I remember one guy going, when I said I don't use stop losses and I add to a loser when it goes down, he said, that's like catching a falling knife. Lose those things, man. Lose that way of thinking. I mean, that sounded so witty, like catching a falling knife. Where'd you hear that? More propaganda, more baloney on the internet, because that's not how you're supposed to trade. So let's look at the left-hand side. It's a live trader. It shows the current account value. I didn't take any profits today. You can see today's profit 0. And I can look down here on the lower right. You can see today. The two things that it did today is it bought Swift and it bought ABT. Well, where are they on here? Swift is down and it bought more. ABT is down and it bought more. Common sense, folks. Now my ACH, why didn't I even sell any of that? Let's take a look. Ah, I'm only up 4.16%. I clicked on the plus in front of it to expand out so I could see. I'm only up 4.16%. I'm not up 5%. I set the profit goal for 5%. So that's why I didn't close that one yet. I could manually close it. If I wanted, I could just sit here and hit close this lot right now, but I won't do it. I want the auto trader to do it. I won't give in. This auto trader won't give in for a penny. And I'll wait. And I don't care if that coin goes back down now. I don't care. Anytime you buy, this is the way you're mentally how you're supposed to think. This is how I think. I'm not the kind of person that says I'm down or I'm down. You know what I mean? I'm down. Everybody looks at their account value and they go, I'm down. It's like, what? You mean the whole world's down, don't you? Forget about this. I'm down. The whole world's down. If a coin price goes down and I buy more at a lower price, nobody in the world can make money on that coin now. Nobody in the whole world can make money on that coin unless they raise that price a little. And when they raise that price, pay me because I got my profit goal set at 5% above my last buy. So I feel evil. I mean, I feel like I just froze the price for the whole world. Now, if I didn't buy it, it doesn't matter where it goes because you don't own it. Or if you went all in up here and the coin price is down here, you got to wait for it to go all the way back up before you can sell. You haven't froze anything. It can go up and down, up and down, up and down. Everybody else in the world can make money, and you're not. But in our case, when I buy at a lower price, that coin, in my opinion, is frozen for the whole world. Because when they rise it, pay me first, baby. I'm the tax man. And it's almost evil that I can put a lock on all these coins and make them have to pay me. None of these coins can go up 5% from where I buy them without me selling and taking profit. And it's just constant buy sell. If you scroll down here, the lines would note where the profit loss here on the right. If the ones where it's blank means buys, the ones with numbers means it's sold. And I can sit here and just scroll through all the buys and sells. It's kind of like owning a 7-Eleven, isn't it? You put product on the shelf and you sell it off and you restock the shelf. Got to have inventory to sell. Most people, the way they manually trade, this is the mistake they make. They sit and they look at monitors and then they say to themselves, it looks like the coin's going to go higher. So then they jump in. So they don't own any inventory until they think it's going to go higher. And do you notice I use the word they think it's going to go higher? They don't know if it's going to go higher for sure. And then they go ahead and buy it. Even if the coin went straight up, what'd you make? You only got one lot. One purchase is one, I call it one lot. You did one measly purchase and then it jumped. Say it jumped 50%. Fine, you had one lot that went up 50%. Let me tell you, I got 14 lots of this one up here. I got 17 lots of this one. I got 15 lots of that one. It's just a constant. If a coin jumps, I have a lot of inventory to sell. You can scroll through and look at how many times, you'll see look at Swift. It popped and I had a whole bunch of inventory on April 27th, just a few days ago. And all that inventory went off all at once. All those lots that I owned that were underwater, and then the price went higher and it sold them all off. This concept is hard for people to believe because remember the bucket and the well? I showed that to a whole room full of 80 AI developers. I was teaching a class and I drew that on a bucket and a well on a whiteboard and I showed them that. And the response I got was, there's no way that could be real. Why? See what I mean? This is why I seem like I'm delivering the impossible, but really, I've never really been delivering the impossible. I've always been delivering logical things. At Microsoft was the same thing. I was just delivering common sense stuff. But other developers felt like that's impossible. And I'm like, it's not impossible, you know? So, so that's what the auto trader is. You can see everything on here. The total profits taken, $30,000. The current profits saved. I've got it set to save 100% of my profits and go back. So all the profits, and I live off the profits, so I'm constantly taking money out. Let me go back there and you can look at my history. I'm constantly, because I live off my credit card. I just live off this card. I have a Visa, Coinbase Visa card.
And what do you say
And
about the Coinbase Visa card?
oh, the card that keeps on giving. It's like it's almost humorous, you know. I use it everywhere I go. It's like the card that I can just use it. I don't even care. I mean, here, this thing took $3,000 of free money. I call it free money off the table last month. And it's not even an expensive account. I got bigger accounts, much bigger. I usually show a bigger account. And I don't know why I was always showing the bigger one when I have lesser accounts, smaller ones. I just thought I would show something that a little different than every week, what I normally present. But no matter what, every time I use that card, it's like free money because I never have to make payments. The Coinbase Visa card takes it right out of my USDC, out of my account, and out of the cash. And so it's just a free card everywhere. I have a Sam's Club card that pays me 5% cash back on gas. I don't even use the card because I got to make payments on the card every month if I use it. And I'm like, I like the Coinbase Visa card. It's just a free card. It's like a magic card that always just you could use it. You never make a payment. It's kind of nice. So I put Bitcoin down here at the bottom just to kind of show it's like an index. I kind of want to know what Bitcoin's doing. I'm not trading Bitcoin in my trader.
Can you
Um,
show them why on the like highest trade count?
why aren't I?
Well, I mean, show them on the highest trade counts, like the difference between the volatility of smaller coins versus more stable,
Yes,
like Ethereum.
we have this coin. This Attil or Edward calls this the $1 billion report. We produce it once a month. It's still running right now for the first day of May, for the last month. But this one here is a month old. Um, it shows what percent of coins are high. I mean, how many trades? And when I say trades, it means closed trades, and they're all profitable trades. There's this auto trader never sells at a loss.
Right.
So it shows you the biggest movers. If you were running a 7-Eleven, a grocery store, the distributor would give you a report similar to this and show you the items that sell the most. You got your vapes, your monster drinks, your potato chips, candy bars, that kind of stuff. So you got the biggest moving items at the top. These are the ones that show like 1,584 trades last year, closed trades. And on the right, it shows you monthly how many trades it did each month. You can see it here on the right. If I scroll it now, if you want Bitcoin, see these numbers here, what in order from high to low, from the best to the worst. If I look for Bitcoin, it's all the way on line 458. It doesn't move enough. On a 3% move, it doesn't go up and down enough to turn enough inventory. It's like selling iodine in your 7-Eleven. Some of you probably don't even know what iodine is, which means you probably wouldn't go to a 7-Eleven to buy it, right? Because they don't sell enough of it. They wouldn't put it on the shelf. So you want to move the biggest moving items. What you can do on this report, I can click here, percent of traders. You see this? It shows you what percent of GoBabyTrade traders are in each coin. Click on that. You want to know how to start your trader? Right there's the answer. grab the first 5 coins, 3 to 5 coins off this list. Done. You got the top moving items that most users are trading. And most users are trading those coins. If I go to the bottom, you got coins that nobody's trading, that no GoBabyTrade user would trade. Or let me rephrase that. It's less than 1%, so it's showing 0 on here because Bitcoin is on this list. BTC, let's see. Bitcoin, 8% of the people are trading Bitcoin. So people are dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. But for me, when I start a new trader, I might throw 50 or 100,000 into a trader, into a Coinbase account. I would go right here. I would click on percent of traders, grab the top 5 coins, and just trade those 5. I'm done. End game. It's so simple to pick coins. People say, how do I pick my coins? Big common question I get when people sign up is that's very common. So when you sign up, as soon as you buy the license, it takes you to the next screen that says insert your coins that you want it to trade. And really, you only want to do 3 to 5 coins max.
Yep, max.
If you start doing 20 coins, you're only allocating your funds. You're dividing your money up into 5% of your money per coin, because 5 times 20 coins is 100%. Whereas if I'm doing 3 coins, 33%, 33%, 34%. That's 100% of my money. I got most of my money tied up into 3 coins. If I'm doing 5 coins, I've got 20%, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So I've got it all divided up into these top 5 coins. The more money I have in each coin, the more profits I make per trade. If I go back to my trader here, I can look at how much this trader makes per trade. $24, $21.85, $11.90, $82. A lot of it has to do with how much the coin is moving. Is going to dictate how much I'm making. But if you're trading with 100, say you had 100 coins, you would be dividing your money into 1% of your money per coin. You'd be making 3 cents a coin. 3 cents a trade. You're dividing your money up too thin. So you wanna give each coin enough money to work with so that when it does jump, you make good money. And then once you put in the coins, it starts trading in paper trade mode immediately. This one's live trading. It shows it up here. But when you first start, it goes into paper trade mode. What that does is so that you can feel comfortable that you can say, I got all my symbols in here. I've got my strategy already set by default. The software already has it set by default. Now, for a second, so then it's ready. Once you feel good that everything looks good, then you go live. And then as soon as you go live, it's already got the coins you're trading. You already told it. It's already got the strategy set. So then it just starts trading live immediately. So whenever you're ready to go live. Some people go live right away. Some wait till the next day. Some wait a couple days. But the sooner the better. Every day that you don't have your auto trader running live is a day, number one, you're not building inventory, because inventory is important. Like I said, if I don't have any inventory on the shelf, I'm not selling anything. If you have a 7-Eleven and you have all empty shelves, you're not making any money because you don't have anything to sell. So you want to have a lot of inventory.
All right, Ed, I got a suggestion, Ed, since a lot of times the questions that are asked, they refer to things that you may or may not show here anyway. So why don't we get into the Q&A, and then if we see that something hasn't been asked, we'll just cover it.
Yes, let's do it. I'm excited. I love a good Q&A session. You can't hurt me. Ask anything you want. I'm not like any other CEO.
You've got a very curious.
I want to share the info.
We have a very curious, good question, smart ask question, gentleman that I think is new with us, a gentleman by the name of Carl. There are 13 questions. They are all Carl's.
Hey, Carl, what you didn't know was It's a
You
hundred
need a
dollars
life.
per
You need to get a life.
it's
I'm
a
kidding.
hundred it's $100 per question. We didn't tell you that earlier, but just to,
Carl is developing an auto trader and he needs some
yeah.
answers.
It sounds like it.
Be careful though, because I make stuff, I do make it look easier. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in the software. Over 25 years, as I discovered more corruption in the market competing with you, I countered it in the software.
Tell them
So
about
it's
the
not like
tell them
part
about
of
the
your,
10 screens.
what was that? A crypto case?
Tell them about the 10 screens to blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, my original trader had 10 screens of things you could do. And that's how most bots are out there now. They give you all these screens because they don't know how to make money in the market themselves. So they give you all these screens and settings and they say, you go at it and figure it out. The problem is, if you have to figure it out, what's going to happen is first you try something and lose all your money. Then you try something else and you lose all your money again. Then you try something else and lose all your money again. Whereas with us, the way it's worked is over the years, as I learned more, I kept building all this stuff into the software, the things to counter the corruption that's going on out there. Plus, everybody shares with me. I could see what was working and what wasn't working.
Yeah.
And that's why I got rid of the 10 screens of settings. They weren't necessary. And I reduced it to one screen of settings, one screen of the
Well,
strategy settings, one screen of settings. That's all you need for the auto trader. You want to, everything else. See, when you have all those other settings, like somebody was asking me, well, what do I only want to go in when it's on a Fibonacci line and all? What you're doing is you're restricting the auto trader. You're trying to say, I only want to go in when things look like they're going to go straight up. The auto trader is looking at it the other way. The auto trader is saying, I'm going to go in, but I'm gonna do money management and risk management to cover you to the bottom. So that way I don't care where the prices go. The biggest money you can make is buying at the bottom. And that's what most people aren't used to. Who gets killed in every big market crash? All the people that are busy selling at the bottom, not the people that were buying at the bottom. The auto trader is designed to buy everywhere, top, bottom, middle, it doesn't matter. Because then we always have the market within 5% away from give me money, give me money, give me money. It's the give me money, give me money, give me money thing that makes the auto trader profitable because you can't, I could take 20,000% in profit. You can't stop it. You could literally die. I hate to say it like that. And your auto trader will continue running on the servers. It's still going to be running. And now I've been doing this 25 years. I'm sad to say that I have had some clients pass away. It is what it is. You can't live forever, right? And I've had spouses call me and say, "Yeah, John died last night." And he's running 4 auto traders. It's like she said he was never so happy in his life. He never had money made the way the auto traders make it. And he got 4 auto traders running. He had 4 of them running and just cranking. You just never, in your whole
right.
life, you never have
Ed,
something making money when you don't have to do anything.
Ed, the first like 4 or 5 questions are for you, Ed, and the rest I think we could handle between Edward and I. So why don't we get started? The first question is, what is your maximum historical drawdown? And some of these questions may not
Doesn't
even
matter.
it
You're
the
now see a question like that. What you're saying is down is bad. Well, here, you want a reality? Maybe you don't know it. I'm not sure. The market is down 94% in the last 5 years. Literally from here to here. 94% down. So when you talk about drawdown, what does drawdown mean? We've never sold a coin at a loss. So I'm still sitting on a lot of inventory, but now the important thing is not the drawdown. The important thing is the profits taken.
right.
That's what matters because you're being manipulated if you're worried about drawdown. Let's go here back to the trader.
Good point.
I
You're
think
worried
also,
about the account value.
yeah, exactly. I was about to say, just explaining the account value is kind of an interesting concept that escapes most people.
Right. You're worried about the account value, and the account value, if you take away the profits taken that never end, you're looking at this negative. This is open inventory that is down in from where it was bought. It's at lower prices.
Yeah,
There's
so
nothing.
imagine if you bought a 7-Eleven and you have like $100,000 to allocate to inventory like chips and stuff. And let's just say you spend 30K to fill up the shelves. That doesn't
Or
mean
try, how about
that doesn't
$1 million for
mean
the
that you're out
franchise?
Hold
30,000.
on. I can't hear it. Continue, Casey.
Oh, it doesn't mean that you just $30,000 doesn't exist anymore. It's just ready to generate
To
more
be
income.
sold.
Right.
Right.
And then just to clarify for Carl, rapid fire questions. We're going from his oldest question to his newest question, as he just said, okay, I got your answer on this one. So I think what we'll find is that
This
his question trail, some of them or a lot of this has been addressed and answered as we go along. It's a first exposure for him to this information. So
Yeah, but I
we'll
want to answer this for everybody though, if I want to add a little bit. Can I? Is that
sure,
okay?
of course.
All right. You see these open positions P&L. That's just open inventory. The the whales, the wealthy, can only do one of two things in the market. They can raise the price or they can lower the price. This is all a coin can do as it goes up and down. As it goes up and down, your open positions inventory goes negative and positive, negative and positive. So this is what messes with people because when the price of the coin goes down, it lowers the account value. That's natural. But the people are taught to look at their account value. And I've been telling people for 25 years, stop looking at the account value because that is nothing but an artificial number going up and down. What's important is the real money you've taken off the table. I'm down $1,193 in my open inventory on ABT, but I've taken $4,300 in profits off the table, and not all at once. $15, $48. You can see down here. Whatever this is, all this adds up to this 30,000. So so that's the thing. And when you subtract the difference, you got your total P&L, this minus this, or this minus that. So that's the way it works. So you're in the long run, you can't lose. This number, your closed positions will overtake your open inventory. So I'm
Sure.
not sure about the question about drawdown.
Well,
I don't
Right.
really know what that means.
I think it's
I think I
pretty,
answered it.
yeah, I think it's pretty typical of the average person that's not familiar with your strategy, Ed. And I think Carl is still thinking in terms of the regular markets that he's used to. He's
Hmm.
probably traded before because the term drawdown refers to that old way. This is like you
Yeah.
said, your first words out of your mouth to answer his question here is it doesn't matter. When it goes down, it buys more at a lower price and holds on till
That's
it
where the
goes
big
up.
money is being made. The guy that
Right.
got rich in the 2000 market crash are not the people. I lost 60% in the 2000 market crash.
Yeah.
My watch 22 million turned into 10 million.
Well,
So I got hammered in that market crash. Why? I was selling things at a loss on the way down. I was getting margin calls and everything. This does not use margin even. There's
Ed,
nothing they can do to hurt you. Is as long as
yeah.
you leave money in that account, the auto trader will just keep trading forever, and those profits will keep going into this bucket here and keep filling up.
Okay, great. We got to move on because there's only 39 and a half more questions to go. So, how long? So, the second question, I don't even think needs to be asked because you've already answered enough. But his question was basically in as a follow-up to what is your maximum historical drawdown? The second question is how long did the recovery take? So again, it
Totally
doesn't,
market driven.
yeah.
It's if the market's going straight down 94% over the last 5 years, that's been a long-term downtrend. It took longer. You'd think I'd be losing by now, really. It didn't take long for the recovery because the wiggles are there. But watch when that trend turns up. Watch when that trend starts turning up and all that inventory I'm sitting on that I was buying on the way down,
Mm,
starts selling off,
yummy.
I mean, I already know I'm gonna make 50 million in the recovery, and there's nothing they can do to stop me either. That's the
Yeah,
beauty.
the
But
key
you know what they
point.
got to do? They got to keep that coin at the bottom, because if they start moving it up here, then I start selling off all this inventory.
Okay, so he
Yep.
said forget about the drawdown aspect for now. So that's good because most of the questions have been answered. Now, there is one that he asks that I think we should cover for everybody's sake. So, Ed, you said something really, really cool once, and you say it often.
Only once.
Just
Well,
once.
I
you
can
say
read
it
more.
actually. I didn't hear you say it yet today, but in essence, what you say is when the market goes up, that's easy. You take the profit. How do you handle the losers? What happens if the market crashes 10%,
The
20,
market has
30%?
crashed.
So
The software has never seen a bull market.
his question is if the market crashes 60% tomorrow, what exactly does
That
your
would be
system do?
great. That
Keeps
would be
buying
great.
inventory.
You know why? Because instead of adding on 3% drops, it would add on a 60% drop.
Just show
So it buys more, 30, 60% lower. Be my
show,
guest.
show them what happened when the market crashed 30 to 40%, October 10th. Let's show them. I mean, everybody needs to see this. Go to your trader, Ed. Whose trader
Let's
is
see
that?
what happened on October 10th, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what happened. Let's see.
Well, that was one of the biggest crashes we've had
Oh,
in
all
the
right. Well,
last
the
five
auto
years.
trader just loaded up. That was a beautiful buy day.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it
market
buys the
crashed
dip.
30 to 40% this day. Carl, go ahead.
Oh
And
yeah, it
then
buys the dip
what was
And
that,
then
Phil?
boom.
I mean, Casey?
Good,
it buys
good,
the dip for you.
Oh yeah, it buys the dip. Yeah, that's the simple,
good
And
easy
way
it
to say
considers
it.
math.
all of the layer or the level two data that, I mean, we could have access to, but we're not going to operate off of it as quickly as the 24/7 trader would.
Well, too
Yes,
bad I
Carl,
don't.
you are
Let's see.
correct. He says, so it buys the dip. You are correct. Absolutely. So let's move on because he still has a lot of questions. So, Edward, you want to take the next couple?
Okay, yep. I'm gonna hit answer live on this one.
Look what happened when ACH took off though on January 26th last year.
Ah,
Look at all these closes all at once. Boom, 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 boom. And then it went on for a few days. It went from 2 cents to 5.6 cents in 5 days. And look at all these sells. And then what's nice about ACH, it started to it started to wiggle. So even while it was going up, it pulled back a little and the auto trader bought more. So not only was I selling the inventory that I bought while it was going down, I was selling that on the way up. But then while it was going up, it was wiggling. It was going down a little, so the auto trader was buying more, and then continuing the rally, it continued selling that off too. I was double dipping the whole way back up.
right,
I mean,
right.
talk about a 300% return in a couple of days.
Yeah, and somebody said the XCN spike that happened a couple days ago paid off their subscription on
Mhm.
the
Oh,
community.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
like in one
yeah,
day.
in the
I,
private
you know,
community, in the private community, there is a user by the name of Satoshi, if that rings a bell. That said the XCN spike. I think it was the 28th. It was just a couple of days ago. Um, paid off his or her trader just in that one profit spike.
though that was Swift a couple of days ago.
No. It's XCN and L3, but his
Oh,
or
all
her,
right.
whoever was commenting, it was
Oh,
based on XCN.
well, I think one of those coins went up 250% in one day. I posted that on Facebook, and typical, somebody else replied back on Facebook, and someone I don't know who's not running an auto trader said, "There's no way you could have known that was going to happen." Well, that's a beautiful response. Yeah, there is no way. And I replied back and I said, "You're right. I didn't know it was going to happen, but the auto trader prepped me for the kill. The auto trader prepped me by building all that inventory that I was able to sell off on that jump." So when it did that, it was like, thanks. I always say thanks for the free money. But if I write free money on the Facebook, they won't let me. Sometimes Facebook itself will block the post because in their mind they can't the concept of free money eludes them. And that's what I've been dealing with for 25 years. It's not the software that's hard, it's the people. They just have to break away from, they're just brainwashed. And I haven't figured out how to fix that yet.
Well,
This
hey,
is the therapy session for me
right.
right
Well,
now.
I can tell you that the year and a half that we've been doing these master classes, it has begun to rewire some people's brains, particularly when they go, "Geez, I'm not really sure about this, but okay, I'm going to buy it." And then those that have been part of the community for that period of time go, including Crypto Casey. She thought we were a scam.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not anymore. And that where
I've
it
had
literally.
multiple clients tell me that I don't understand all this stuff, but Crypto Casey believes in you, so that's why I bought it.
There you go.
So
Thank
he's
you.
There's a
got
testimonial. So
he said, let me just interrupt for a second, Edward. Um,
why not? Everybody is.
yeah. No, I just want to, I want continuity. So he says in the chat, so if XRP goes on a bull run, it would sell every peak that
Well,
shows what
you like that, that would be something. Oh yeah.
it'll it'll sell as many positions as is in the like when you pull up when you hit the plus sign. I think Carl will get a kick out of this. He'll really appreciate this. Hit the plus sign on any one of your cryptos, Ed. So check this out.
I'm going to
Carl.
minimize this bottom part here so you can see it.
Yeah,
Each lot is right here. And I'm adding, and you can see down here where it's adding. This is the most recent lot.
right.
It's telling me here that the current price is 3 cents, right?
30
Current
cents.
bid price. Or 30 cents, I'm sorry. It's telling me up at the top, it's going to buy if the price goes down to 29.15 cents. It's telling me if it drops 5% or 3%, it's going to buy more. It's telling me that ahead of time.
And it
It's
tells you
also
exactly how many
saying
it's buying.
it's even giving me an estimate of how many shares it's going to buy. And it's also telling me here the current price is 30 cents. Down here on the right, it says today's target profit goal is 33 cents. So if it goes to 33 cents, it's going to sell it.
Hmm.
So it's telling me when it's going to sell. It's telling me when it's going to buy ahead of time. And
Right.
all those previous lots that I talked about, that inventory that I bought that is still underwater, those are all down below. I can scroll through here and you can see there's another one, there they all are. And look at the worst one. This is why I'm telling you the market's dropped a lot. This one's down 84%. I don't care about that. It doesn't matter. In the long run, I mean, if you look at ABT, even though you look at this number and you're saying, oh, that looks real bad, well, let's go back and see where my ABT is. I'm down $1,100 total on all my inventory, my open inventory, but I've already taken $4,300 in profits. Thank you. In the long run, I can't lose. This number will keep going higher forever, and this number here will only go up and down as the price goes up and down. I don't even care about it. It means nothing. This is the column that matters. Keep taking profits.
All
Don't
right.
let that market breathe without paying you.
Okay, we got to move on, Ed. He says, do they systematically use stop losses? This system has nothing, no
No,
stop
we never use
losses,
a stop loss.
nothing even similar to a stop
We
loss.
don't
No,
use, we never, I have not sold one position at a loss in any of this.
right.
There's no losers in this trader.
Okay, let's get into a different area he's asking about now, this is, you've been around 25, 26 years, so this is, but he's asking it. Transparency and legality. Is the company legally registered in its country? Who are the founders and what is their verifiable track record? Are they regulated
Google
by
it.
what?
I mean, you can Google that. I mean, GoBabyTrade is Active Trading Technologies is the name of the company, and it's registered in Nevada.
Yeah, and listen, this is a tool, Carl. This is a tool. It's not the
This
trader
isn't,
is not full
I'm
of
not a broker. This isn't, yeah, it's just a
yeah.
tool.
Yeah, it's not making any buying or selling decisions itself, but it is selling the buy. It is, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sending
The
the buy.
broker, Coinbase is the broker. They're the ones that need to be registered. They
Yeah.
need to be a whatever you need, whatever registrations they need. But I've got clients. I've been doing this 25 years. I've got clients all over the world, thousands of clients. I actually automated TD Ameritrade in 2006. They called me out of the blue and said, "Will you connect your auto traders to us so our clients can use it?" Can you imagine my surprise when I got that call? And I said, "How do you even know me?" I mean, I'm just word of mouth. I don't even advertise. His answer was profound, very profound. He said, "You're real." Isn't
Yeah.
that cool? And I said, "Yeah, you're right. I am real. I'm not playing."
The
Yeah.
bottom,
So they asked, I mean, that was, how about that? When they have millions of clients, they actually called me and said, "Will you connect your trader to us so our clients can use it?" That's the confidence that they had. So when the whole thing, why do I keep doing this for 25 years? It's my ego, I guess, because people are always telling me how right I am, how real it is, and how it works. I'm constantly getting pats on the back. "Ed, you're doing great. Keep it up, man. This is awesome." I hear nothing but all this positive news. You want to know where the negative news comes from? People who don't own an auto trader. Those
yeah.
are the people that will go out on the internet and say, "There's no way that this system could really be real." Well, you're brainwashed. I can't fix that. But if you owned an auto trader, then you'd know it's real.
Okay,
So
let's get the main question here
Not
that
you, Carl. I didn't say you. I didn't mean you. I meant whoever wrote that comment on the internet a few years ago.
yeah, yeah. So his main question out of all of these six questions or seven in this section is and I mentioned this when I explained about how I met at Barsano, do my funds remain under my control or do I need to transfer money to their platform? Yes, remember I said he gave me four reasons why this is light years ahead of the stock trader. And number four was he created that API to your own exchange account and your money stays there and you keep control of your money. That's
yeah.
that's what I love most about the trader. So, and
He,
your Kate, you
GoBabyTrade has no ability to touch your funds
right.
or your coins. That's up in Coinbase. The
yeah.
auto trader can send orders to them, it can send a buy and sell order. That's all it can do. It has no transferability. And the orders are filled inside Coinbase. It's inside your account. You have complete control of your coins and your money. We even help you secure your Coinbase account so nobody else can transfer stuff out of your account. We'll help you do that. I help everybody do it.
Edward, I've been talking. Why don't you take over the next few?
I attempted 7 times.
Go ahead. Make your
Yeah, Carl, just so, and you're catching it a long way because thank you for updating us in the chat that as we're answering, you're getting it, and you got exposed to a lot of your the answers to your questions
We love
because
your
you're going
question.
you're going from old to new. So
But we
um
love your
so
questions, Carl. We
yeah,
love your questions because normally we don't get people asking stuff, and it's fun. I
yeah.
like explaining it.
Okay. May I continue?
Yes, proceed, please. It's like the Gutfeld show here. Come on.
So so Carl, you know by now that it doesn't sell at a loss. There's no shorts. There's no guessing. It's all predictable money management. Your limit orders, when you talk about buy and sell percentages, it's defaulted to sell a position at 3% up, and it's defaulted to buy a position at 3% down. The AI does interrupt those things if it is either dropping like a rock, like your 60% example, or flying. If you have a let's say we talked about XCN and L3, it calls when it hits its target um, profit. It calls the AI, and if the AI says I'm 98% sure, better than 95% sure that it's going to continue to go up, it'll hold off on the sell, and it's highlighting both the buy and the sell signals on the AI of what it
See,
does. So it
that one,
holds off, right? So
that
it
one
may,
had AI. This one
right.
did not.
it may not sell at 3% profit. It may sell at 5, 7, 10, 20. We've seen it all over the map. So it takes care of that all while you're sleeping. So um, it connects directly to Coinbase or Kraken via API, which you create. You generate the actual unique API for the connection between your account and between your GoBabyTrade account and your exchange account. No one sees it, not even GoBabyTrade. So it only has, as Ed said, it only has the authority to send buy and sell orders. And those buy and sell orders, if you recall, we looked at the L2 screens. Where everybody gets hurt is exposed orders out on the open order book. There are within the trader, it has preset where's it going to sell, where's it going to buy, but it does not put those in public view. When it hits those parameters, it automatically sends the buy or sell. So
we don't feed this screen, this level 2
yep.
screen. There's none of our orders show up on here.
Yep, it doesn't. Nothing happens. The buy or sell, the exchanges don't see it coming until it's triggered. Once it's triggered, it sells it. I mean, it sends it, and it does either the buy or the sell. Not exposed. Okay.
See that? Look at that fake order down there, a 2-cent
Yep.
order. That's fake.
Okay.
What it does is it occupies a money area. Then, in order for it to go over that, because nobody's going to buy 2 cents worth of a stock or a coin, it's going to force the price to go higher because that you're going to get filled on that one instead of the one below it.
Okay.
So
Carl's
these fake orders mess with the order book.
Yep. Carl's next section is real performance, not marketing. So I all the way back to the beginning, I said you're going to hear fact. So the fact is it's just been cranking out money, and I'll give you an example, and I'll touch on each one of your points. Ed's trader that he normally shows, one of his original traders that he started December 19th of 2021. To address one of your questions, the software has been running since it was released to the market in April of 21. This particular example was December 19th of 21 in a 4-year window from December 19th, 2021 to December 19th, 2025. He started the trader with $200,000. It took almost $1 million in profits, still leaving what his original money and growth of his original money. So when you talk about performance, and this is just one example, and everybody that's been involved in this example, obviously, because your people are trading different coins at different times, buying and selling them at different times. There is no way to answer the question, what is the average monthly returns? But I will say, given that example, when he started with $200,000, in the trader, it made almost $1 million on that $200,000. In that same time frame, the comparison is if you put that $200,000 in those positions, same coins, in a buy and hold scenario, today's value would be $12,000 with zero profit. So it's a testament of how powerful this machine is and the system is. And every day, it's not like this is just static software. Every day, the GoBabyTrade team is improving. And as they improve it, they release those improvements, and you don't pay extra for it. You just pay the regular license fee. So verify the track record. No, there's no third party because it is all proprietary, private company. There is no access to my FX book or broker audit or anything. You can join the community. You can continue to come see us here, and you're going to see live results. It's not a marketing ploy. I showed those 2 screens that I showed before. Those are just what the machine does. It just does what it does. The average monthly net after fees. I'm going to touch on the fees part. So when I talked about a default, and you can change them, the default of buy on a 3% dip and sell at a 3% spike or rise, those are all preset. However, they cover the fees. So the system is also programmed to, if it's a 3% margin that you want to sell at, and AI doesn't come into the play of the come into play in the trade, it will internally set the parameters to high enough of a margin, meaning maybe 3.125, maybe three and a quarter, because it already knows what the trading fees are going to be. So it wraps that into the trade. So what you see in that profit loss column are net after fees. And on the other side, if you really care about deductibility, those fees, everything that you pay, because you're going to see them in the exchange, you can run a report. You're going to see the fees that were charged, and even though they were made up in the margin of when you took the profit, you can still write all those fees off. So there's a big one. Okay. Yep, I see. Yep, the real net value. Okay, cool. All right. Has it survived? What has the strategy survived the bear market? Yes. It's only seen a bear market.
It's
It's
never
a
seen a bull market.
right. It's in a
Not in
90%.
crypto.
Like I said, let me rewrap what I said before. In a 90% plus down market, I think Ed figured out statistically it's a 94% down market. It is literally made um, double, triple digit for most people annually. Did
Time
Ed?
out.
Um, did you bring up the high
Top
trade
traders?
or not? Yeah,
I'll tell you,
the top traders.
Edward,
Yes.
you know what I would like to have Ed Barsano show just real quickly, if you don't mind, Ed. That trader that you started in December of 21, because that I think for Carl, he needs to see that
Yeah, I
showing.
can't bring that up right now.
Okay, no
That's why
problem.
I'm saying I'm remotely connected to a machine here that only is showing my current this one trader.
No worries. Then show
Okay.
the highest trade count. The highest trade count's good.
Yeah,
Explain what it is.
because I'm
Not
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 on
the
my normal
highest not
computer.
the highest trade
I'm
count.
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
I want to see the top 50
Top
uh,
50 traders. Yeah.
trading accounts that are performing in the current market, and it's a one for
Oh,
Carl.
here, I know.
It's a
I think
one
I have
year
it up here.
it's a 1 year report.
Okay, let me no, that's not it. Because I'm remotely connected to another machine here. Here we go. You can go to this website right here and you put in gobabytrade.com/CryptoCasey. Number one, it lowers the price. It gives you this special by $1,000. Thank you, Casey.
Well, thank you, Ed.
I just posted it in the that special link where you can do all of this research and buy it at $1,000 discount. It's in the chat.
Yeah. And then you have the top trader report here, which is this here is showing the top traders. And you can see, like, this guy started with 10,000. Well, this is a 1 year report. It says 1 year at the top, 1 year. This guy started with $10,200 in USDC or USD, and he took 29,000 in profits, closed trades profits for a 289% return. Wouldn't Warren Buffett go crazy if he saw this? He would be all over me. And then he'd be mad at me because I set the limit at 2 million per account. Because he'd want to input 100 million, and I'd tell him, well, you got to buy 50 auto traders, Warren. Because I didn't create this for the uber rich. I created this for regular people.
Right.
And you can see, I mean, this is, where else can you put money in? I mean, like that. This guy started with $8,800, took 21,000 in closed trades. And that's not me, it's not magic. It's just that's what the market did. The market did that, and that was the return that he made. This guy started with 269,000, took 607,000 in closed trades for 225% return. You can click on view details off to the right here and you can actually see what positions, what symbols he's in.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You can do that on each one of these and see what positions they're in. You can see what coins they're trading.
And you can see their strategy.
Yeah, profit goal is 3%, add-on price drops 3%.
And those are all the defaults, by the way.
These are just default settings. These are all the default settings, and then these are the coins he picked. These are all top moving coins, by the way. The thing is, some people want to trade 20 or 30 coins, and I'm like, And their thinking is, well, these are all great coins. I'm like, yeah, but you can't trade all the coins unless you're a multi-millionaire. I mean, you pick five of them, 3 to 5 coins, and go with it,
Yep.
because technically they're all the same, really. All the top moving coins are just
Yep.
doing the
Ed,
same moves.
Ed, can you bring up the strategy screen? Because he's moving into his next section is risk management.
You got me bouncing around on screens here. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. Oh, there we go. All right, the strategy is here's your symbols first. And you can see there's the symbols, there's the funds to invest. Here's the funds that it already used. That's in open positions. And this is the funds remaining for that coin. He's adding to decliners. He's not adding to advancers. That means when it's going higher, he's selling off. He's allowing sells, but he's not adding as it goes higher. It's just once it sells, if I own 2 lots and this bottom one goes higher, it'll sell it off. Then the next one, you're adding to the decline of the one that's above it. So you're always able to add to decliners because you're selling the one off as it goes higher. Now, some people will dollar cost average. Like I could put, like there's XRP. Say I don't want to sell that. I just want to accumulate it. In that case, I would click add to decliners. But in case the price goes higher and I'm not selling, I'm going to have to allow it to add to advancers too, because if it goes higher. And then you notice there's no funds here for this coin, XRP. I can borrow from the rest of these coins by clicking spread funds equally right there. So it borrowed money from each of these coins to fund this coin with another $8,600 that it can use to trade with. And so this one will accumulate as the price goes up and down, but it won't sell anything off. It'll just accumulate it. I know Crypto Casey does that with Bitcoin. She accumulates Bitcoin. I know a lot of clients accumulate XRP also.
So, Carl, on your risk management, if you go to the strategy screen, so that's
And
all.
then the next screen, there's
That
only one more screen of settings, and that's here. The risk management comes in. This is just saying don't accumulate more than twice in a day in case the coin's just dropping like a rock. You don't want to go buy, in one day. If the coin's going to drop, let it drop. I'll add twice in one day and then that'll be it. I'll wait. Wait an hour between buys because what you want buys and sells because you want to give the market room to breathe. Don't feel like you have to completely control it every time it drops 3% or drop 3%, buy more. Take it easy, man. Give it an hour. It was going down. You bought it 3% lower. Wait an hour, and if it might go down 8% more, and then you can buy it again. You don't feel like you have to buy it every 3%. This is saying if it sees $100 on a trade, just take it. Don't wait for the AI or anything. This one, the profit goal is 5%. We don't wait for pullbacks. We have AI. If AI thinks it's gonna go higher, then the AI will deal with that. We don't need to worry about the pullback. This says equal funds. I'm going to trade equally regardless of where the price goes, whether it's higher, whether it's all the way up at the top, or if it drops 80% lower, I'm going to still be investing the same amount of money per trade, all the way, regardless of where it goes. Now this is the money management here. Let's round this to an even number for simpler math. If I add on 3% drops and I do that 30 times going down, now you're buying and selling along the way, but if it's accumulating, if it keeps going lower, you're adding on 3% drops. 3 times 30 gives you a 90% window going down. That means you are, as long as that coin stays within that 90% drop, you are going to trade it in perpetuity, just like that bucket in the well. You're just going to keep pumping money no matter where the price goes. It's very rare that a coin would drop 90%. And let me tell you, that is rare. As a matter of fact, the 94% drop we saw in the last 5 years in the crypto market is bigger than every crash in the stock market in history, bigger than the 1929 market crash. People were jumping out of windows during that crash. You know why people aren't jumping out of windows during this crypto crash? Because they already got out while it was going. They just got hammered because they were buying holders. And they already, like one guy, I was in at a UPS store and I walked up. As I was walking up, I just said, "So, how's your crypto doing?" There you go. I always throw it out there, right? There's my elevator pitch. "So, how's your crypto doing?" He said, "Oh, my father lost everything." I said, "How?" I'm like, I can't even fathom that. He said, "Well, he bought Bitcoin at 60,000. Then when it dropped to 30,000, he sold it. So he just threw away half his money for no reason." And I'm like, if you got money to just throw away, how come you're not handing $1,000 bills out on the street? A lot of people out there could use that money. They're holding up signs. You don't even want to hand them a $5 bill. I give 20s personally, but I mean, some people won't even give them a dollar. It's like, hey, if you're willing to throw away $30,000 like it's nothing, how about handing out $1,000 to each person? I don't
Now
know,
you're
or
getting into
$100.
therapy.
There's the therapy
Yeah,
again.
let me.
Because you're in the market, people are not afraid to throw away their money. And the auto trader doesn't throw it away though. That's the beauty. It just
All
as
right,
long as you stay within that
Ed.
as long as that coin stays within that 90% window, I will trade it in perpetuity.
Okay.
So Muhammad's got we got to give a little bit of equal time to Muhammad. So it's the Carl and Muhammad show. Muhammad says, "How much money do I need to start the trader?" Well, now we posted the Crypto Casey discount link. It's a 3-year license for $3,499, which comes out to $3.19 to automate your trading life. So as far as how much you start with, that's completely up to you. We showed you examples of $1,000 accounts and $1 million accounts. The more money that you have in, the returns have proven historically to be, in my opinion, better than returns anywhere else, particularly in a bank. So,
I can
um,
tell you what people do. Some people start with even $500. And let's just go back to that screen real fast. I'll just show you.
yep, while you're getting there, Mohammed's second question: does the money have to be in USDC? No. If you have a Coinbase account and you connect it to that, you can do USDC or USD. My personal opinion is trade it in USDC because once it's in crypto, I want it to stay in crypto. No, it's not a yearly subscription; it's a 3-year subscription.
You get a
And
3-year
there and
license.
there's no monthly option. It is simply a 3-year that is renewable. The good news is if you buy it at the discounted price, you're grandfathered into that discounted price at renewal.
Here's a guy that started a year ago. He had $623. He almost doubled that. Doesn't sound like much, but let's talk percentage, folks. That's 84% return. I mean, think percentages, don't think dollars. I hear people all the time say, "I want to make $100 a day," that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, how much are you going to start with? $500. Well, you're not going to make $100 a day. That's
Yeah.
illogical. Because then you're asking for 365.
First of all,
I don't even know what that percent would be.
it's market dependent too. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't, it's not going to
you don't know.
it's not going to necessarily make a profit for you every single day because you don't know what the market's going to do. Some days you may have 10 profits. It's all market dependent.
Yeah,
Very,
but
Yeah.
what Ed says is true with the market being as low as it is, and who knows whether we're at the bottom. But if you've watched the market, particularly if you own the trader and watch the market, the manipulators are having a very tough time pushing them lower than the numbers that they are now without the market bouncing. The examples that I showed of XCN and L3, you're seeing that they put downward pressure, and all of a sudden it's like a can of soda that you shake and then open the top, and then it just rockets and sells all of the inventory off at the same time. You're in a very, very, very unique position in time
Never
to
happened
be able
before in history.
to be able to deploy something that works automatically in your favor, particularly as it's accumulating at 94% lower prices. Now, if you have to ask yourself philosophically, do you believe that the crypto market is going away? Because if the answer is yes, then don't buy the
Then
trader.
don't go in.
And if you believe that it's not going to go away, you have there is no other platform in existence that allows you to accumulate inventory without worrying about money management, risk management, and all that kind of stuff. Where I've personally been running a trader for a year and a half, and I've got three traders that the lowest operating has been at over 50% annually, and the highest has been over 100%. So and and the example I gave about if you're a buy and holder, people, if you're a buy and holder and you've got fanatics that are XRP, I'm a fan of XRP, but have been accumulating and buy and hold crypto positions, filling your bags over the last 4, 5+ years. Everybody is frustrated and hates crypto because, for example, the XRP, when's it going to go to $5? When's it going to go to $500? With a system like this, and Crypto Casey always touches on it as she uses this methodology in this trader as an overall portion of her total investment strategy in crypto. If you believe it's the end all be all, I no longer buy and hold. I do accumulate Bitcoin and XRP via DCA in this system, but the rest of it, I just let it go because I know that I can catch 10,000 trades in the middle instead of being a buy and holder and just being pissed off that I've got to now see a market increase when it does, and it will turn north and go into a bull cycle. But anybody that's a buy and holder at a 94% hold, you're just hoping, praying, and wishing, and you got to wait when it does take off to double in price before you can even break even.
Yeah. So
So,
that
And it's
so
just you
my,
could start with any amount of money. It doesn't matter. And then when you see how it's working and all, you just, I'll tell you what most people do. Then they start trying to figure out where can I find more money to put in this,
yep.
yep.
you
So,
know?
Mohammed, can the license be combined like stocks and crypto? No.
No.
Each one is its own separate license because it connects to the stock market. Trader connects to what is it? What's the platform in?
Trade
Trade
station?
station.
Trade station,
Trade
right?
station, yeah.
So you'll need two licenses, one for crypto and one for stocks. Let's see. Do you have to direct the profits to savings or reinvest? What's a good percentage setup? Well, that's an opinion question, so I'll give you one. Um, so that it comes defaulted to save 100% of your profits. And we always talk
Oh,
about this
look,
profit
I just made $92 while we were
unstaged,
talking.
unstaged.
That is
So
completely unstaged. That's an
yeah,
actual trade that just happened all by itself.
yeah, you can see 12:55, which is yep, it executed it 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes ago. Okay, so
That's your auto trader in at work. While you're
right.
busy out there doing whatever it is you do in life, this auto trader is just stalking that market, man.
Yep. Or as you're learning about the system, it's working on your behalf.
Hmm.
Mohammed says, do you have to direct the profits to savings or reinvest? What is the good
You're
percentage
gonna
setup?
love
The
this.
default, it,
Do you want me to
it
do a demo?
Yep. It defaults to when you buy the system, it saves 100% of your profit in what's called a save bucket. There is no real bucket. What it does is if you're trading in the example of USDC, that is that you're making USDC available to trade in the trader. Every time it takes a profit, if it's set to save 100%, as you're seeing on the screen, if it makes $10, it will take that $10, drop it into you back into USDC, but you're telling the system that every
Don't
time it
lose it.
saves profit, it's saving it and making it invisible to the trader versus compounding back in. If and then you can manage that save percentage, and you don't have to do anything other than watch it collect. But it's not, there's no separate bucket. It's just whatever profit is invisible to the trader so it doesn't suck it back in and compound.
So the software knows not to use it if you're saving it. However, there is something here that Crypto Casey does. This is a Crypto Casey feature she asked for, so I programmed it. Manage incoming profits. As the profits come in, you can actually tell what to do with the profits as they're coming in. Like in her case, she has like, say this was Bitcoin. She says, I think you have yours set to save, put 100% of the profit into Bitcoin. So the other coins are making all the money, but all the profits are going into pretend like that's Bitcoin. In my case, it's GRT here for the example. It's putting all the profits, like that $92 I just did, it would, if I put that 100% there, $92 would go into GRT. And then of course, I would have to lower this save profits to 0, right? Because I'm telling all the money to go into GRT. Some people would say redirect 50% into a certain coin. I mean, you can mix and match them all. Some people put 10% of the money, spread it out between coins, and save the other 40% or whatever.
Yep. Let me clarify something, Ed. When you say it all goes to GRT, when it makes the profit, it just doesn't go randomly buy more GRT. What it does is
No,
it puts it into the allocated funds in under GRT.
right. It puts it in the funds that GRT has.
In trade, the trade.
Right here. There's another column you don't see because I haven't distributed money to it, but there would be another column in between these right here that would say distributed funds, and GRT would have that extra money in it that is allocated. So the funds remaining would be like if I said save 100% of that 92, put 100% of that $92 that just came in, the funds coming in, give it to GRT. This funds remaining would go up by $92. You'd have
Gotcha.
92 more dollars to work
That's
with.
that's pretty clear. That's pretty clear. Yep.
Okay, hopefully.
Yep. So
Okay.
back to Carl for a second. Can we still manage the configuration on GoBabyTrade platform for a DCA on XRP? Yes, that actually asked and answered. That's what he
There it
just
is.
demonstrated.
Yes.
And you can
I
do
can
that
tell it
from
distribute
any
fund,
coin.
save the coin, buy and sell, but don't allow it to sell it.
Yep. Here's an interesting question Carl has. If the Clarity Act goes live with the new rules and crypto would become securities,
They're
what
not.
what
It
we
wouldn't
will
change
be.
anything.
Well, hold on. Listen to so if there's a segmentation between cryptos and commodities, such as Bitcoin, and I think Ethereum has been labeled that. What are we using as ticker symbols would still be commodities? Good question. I don't know what that's going to look like. I believe if it's tradable on Coinbase and Kraken, they're going to be considered to be cryptos and not securities. I honestly, I'm a bit confused as how they determine and categorize commodities and cryptos. So we'll have to see what the Clarity Act clears up.
But whatever coins they let us trade, we trade. We actually, under the menu, I can show you here under the menu. I didn't go in and bring up all the menus, but under this menu, you see this exchange symbols here? I'm going to open that up in a new tab. I'll show you what that does. It actually shows you, come on, baby. It shows you all the coins that can be traded within each exchange. Like there's Coinbase. I can say sort the list alphabetically, and there's every symbol starting, alphabetically left to right
Yep.
that you can
Depending
trade.
on depending on the rules, we don't know what's going to be included or excluded in that report, though,
Yeah.
if at all.
Right now, these are all the coins that can be traded.
Yep. Yep, Carl, you're right. Yes, the answer is yes. Can we say GoBabyTrade is a kind of assurance against being a buy and holder after the bull run? Well, listen, as long as the
I'm not
price
sure what
of
that
a
means.
as long as the price of a coin continues to go up and down, which if you look at it, if you look at go to coin market cap and type in any symbol, and you can see that it looks like a someone's having a stroke in the chart. So as long as the coin prices continue to go up and down, you've now been exposed to something that simply traps I call it bear traps. Every time it drops, it sets another bear trap, buys a position, waiting for it to go up. And when we're in the infantile stage, or what I like to say, the dinosaur stage of this new nascent space, being able to trade cryptos successfully on a retail level, when we do hit a bull market, your worst day, you're going to then be thinking about something else because the coins are going to rocket to a point where it's going to blow out all of your inventory at a profit. And you're going to go, please let tomorrow and the next day and the next day be down days so that I can accumulate
Yeah,
more inventory for the next run. It's a
that's your DNA.
yeah,
You right
it's a
now. Hmm.
it's a complete dichotomy based on what the fake real world teaches you about pricing. And if you're not a professional trader, and you would only understand this if you were a professional trader, but you would also understand that you'd have to be sitting in front of 6 to 10 screens 24/7, 365. This system flips that on its head because it allows you to act as the smartest trader ever, with a track record of never selling at a loss unless you force the sale. That literally allows you to accumulate dollars, free money, as Ed says, for the rest of your life. As long as the coins are going up and down, that's it. I don't care
They're
anymore.
always going to be going up and
Right.
down.
I don't care anymore, other than I'm a whale holder of XRP because I believe that is the foundation of the one of the foundations of the rails of the new system. But other than that, I don't care whether prices go up and down. This system allows me to throw that piece of the puzzle out the window because I know every day that the market wants to give me money, I take it. At 4 o'clock in the morning, at 1 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't matter. If I'm on vacation, I'm 61 and I've got an 11-year-old. Guess where I want to spend my time? With my family.
On the soccer field.
No, yeah, just yes. I spend most of my waking hours, unless I'm recording a live webinar. I'm on the soccer field
On a Saturday.
on
You
a
know,
Saturday.
even if it's a bull market, there's always going to be these constant pullbacks, ups and downs, and the auto trader has a field day during that whole time.
All right, Attila,
Yeah. Okay.
have at it.
Any questions for Casey?
Well,
Kind of off the hook today, huh?
nope, not yet. Don't. Nope, you're not off the hook yet.
Okay. So Edward, did you have a chance to delete the ones that were covered already?
I did. Well, no. Yeah, just go ahead and look at them. I'm not randomly deleting. I'm trying to answer all the little tidbits along the way.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
but Carl
All right.
says under business model, nope, there's no hidden fees. There's no refund. Well, here's on a refund policy. One, it's not mine to refund. That is an Ed issue, but we have an extraordinarily good track record of selling thousands of licenses and having very few people come back and go, I'm too tired of making money. I don't want to make any more money. Can you give me money back? We've had very few people ask for refunds because it simply works. And the reason why we go belaboring every detail as much as we can in these presentations is that we're hoping to put you in an informed decision position where you go, nah, this is a no-brainer. I'm just gonna buy it and make money for the rest of my life.
Let me say this. Here's why there's no refunds. Real simple, folks. First of all, it's got a 25-year track record of success. It just plain works. Number two, it always comes down in whatever industry, it always comes down to the people factor. People are funny. Some people will buy a 36-month license, a 3-year license, go 1 month with the trader. The market happens to be sideways or down and say, this thing sucks. I want my money back. That's not reality. The market, the trader is market dependent. Okay. If you don't have the trader and you buy Microsoft stock and it does nothing, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down for a month, are you going to sell it? No, you're going to hold on to it. You know it's going to go up, right? So maybe not the best example, but that's the bottom line. And there are no hidden fees. You pay $34.99 for 3 years. Ed Barsano does not take any additional funds from you for any profits or anything. Okay?
Yep.
So,
I'll grab the technology and
yeah.
security.
Okay.
Do I need to provide an API key? No. You probably guessed by now that once you buy the license, we can either walk you through it, or we have very good videos that actually shows you how to do it. But we're not opposed to, if you go, hey, I want to buy the license. I've got a couple more questions. Can you help me? Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, now's a good time while I'm talking about it. Is you've got two ways to contact us. And I'm going to put them in the chat here in a second. These two support emails. You can send us an email. One goes directly to support at GoBabyTrade.com, goes directly to Ed and his team, and support at RCT Marketing Systems goes to Attila and I. And you can say, hey, I would love it if you could walk me through it. I'm ready to buy the license. We'll set up a 15-minute Zoom because literally it doesn't take any longer than that. And then you become a part of the community. It's not a sale and you go. We're in the life-changing business. We're the software sale happens as a result of us properly educating you. Can the funds be withdrawn without my authorization? No. They
No.
if you have your I only deal in Coinbase, but others deal with Coinbase and Kraken. The only way that somebody can get to your funds is if you let them into your Coinbase account. And if you don't know about the allow list, you need to turn on the allow list. We have a video for that, because that, if someone tries to hack your account, if they get in, you're automatically sent an alert, and it says, "Hey, did you just add a withdrawal wallet to your address?" And you can interrupt that, and it black labels that address so nobody can get in. Nobody can get into your Coinbase account. I mean, into your trader account unless you give them authorization to. The API generation happens one time when you're setting up, super duper easy. Away you go. What security protects my personal data? No one can get in, and to go with your next one, has it ever been hacked? No one can get to your personal data unless you let them into Coinbase. There is no personal data that is stored within GoBabyTrade. GoBabyTrade has never been hacked because it is an intranet. It never goes out other than to a separate pipe to send the buy and sell orders. There is no way to get into the internal system. And
And
there's
that's through the
redundancy.
API.
Right. And there's redundancy and there's continuity. What happens if Ed dies or decides that he doesn't want to do this anymore? There's a continuity plan behind the scenes that this will run for as many generations as you can count. Which platforms? We covered that. That is Coinbase and Kraken. Currently, only those two because they are
I'm
high
not the only
quality.
developer on this team, by the way. So
Right.
if I die, it's not going to stop
Yeah,
this.
that's the continuity part. There's tons of people internally, privately that have the ability to continue on with
I
the
mean,
code.
this is a multi-million-dollar company. This isn't somebody sitting in their garage. You know, I didn't just slap out an auto trader
Yeah,
last
what do
week.
you think? What do you think this is? Microsoft?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're not Microsoft, but I
All right.
mean, we're not exactly. All those other bots out there are they don't even know what they're competing with because think about AI. How does AI work? AI is a learning system. I've been doing AI since 1989. My auto traders have had AI built into them since 2001. I never bragged about it because I feel like AI is a nice bell and a whistle. It's a nice add-on. But other than that, it's the auto trader itself is the star of the dish, not the AI. when the auto trader is getting ready to place an order, it'll call the AI to see what the AI thinks about that order. Do you think it's going to go higher? Do you think it's going to go lower? Other than that, the auto trader makes the decisions. Now, but AI can't tell you 1 + 1 is 2 when you first turn it on. 25 years ago, the AI didn't know anything because it didn't know anything. It's like a child. It has to learn over the years. It has to see millions of patterns. Whereas these other AIs that just came out a year or two ago that are out there, those other bots that are out there that are lying and saying they have AI, they don't know what they don't know. Their AI hasn't seen patterns from 7, 8, 9, 20 years ago. They haven't seen all those patterns, all those technical analysis patterns, stochastics, MACD, relative strength index. They haven't seen those patterns. So they don't know, they haven't seen patterns from 20 years ago or 15 years ago. So they only know what they saw in the last couple of years. And what did they see in the last couple of years? Nothing but a straight down market.
Mhm.
So they really
Yeah.
don't know what a bull pattern looks like, really.
All right, hey, I got
Like
good
a 20,
news.
let me just say this. It's like a 25-year-old in a foot race with a 2-year-old. They don't have a prayer of competing.
Let me share some good news from Carl. He finally cried uncle. He wants to he wants to buy the
And
trader.
who
So
got him in the
so
headlock?
Hey,
so
hey, good
Carl.
decision. Good decision, Carl. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, Carl, easy peasy. So I just posted Crypto Casey's link again. Just hit the buy now in that link. What's going to happen? The next couple of steps in sequence are when you purchase it, it automatically goes into simulation mode.
Right.
Um, it doesn't need to be connected straight away. So if you wanna start playing with it and seeing how it works, if you go in and say there's the screen that pops up and it says, but a lot of people go, which coins do I choose? You've got two choices. You can hit the default button that is the top performing ones that are picked for you, or you can enter them manually. When you then hit go without connecting to your Coinbase or Kraken account, it automatically goes into simulation mode. So you can see how it works and how it plays around and what it does. And you can go in and play with all the features and goof with all the strategies if you want. But it allows you the sandbox to go play until you connect to your Coinbase. The good news is that when you connect to your Coinbase account, you can reset. It automatically resets all of that stuff except for the coins if you chose coins. You're going to have to make sure that you want to trade what you have, right? So, and another thing to note is that we talked a lot about XRP. If you have XRP in your Coinbase or Kraken account and you don't want it to trade it, then you don't put the symbol inside the trader to be able to pick those coins. If you do want it to, say XRP, as you mentioned about a hodler strategy, be careful because if you have live XRP in your Coinbase account, Coinbase or Kraken account, and you connect the trader and you tell it to trade XRP, it's going to suck in all of the XRP and start trading it, which means no matter where you are DCAing, then it will just take it all and it will start grinding away. If you don't want it to, and this is something we can cover on a call, so the next step is once you buy the trader, send us a message to support it at RCT Marketing Systems and say we'll recognize you, Carl. Hey, I want to have a call with you to connect my account to Coinbase or Kraken. So we'll stop time and help you do that. It's not complicated, but we'll also it's a good thing to walk you through to make sure
Robert,
that any of your assets are not being traded that you don't want to, because there is a way to segment them in different
what
portfolios.
what Edward was trying to say also that he just kind of skipped over this accidentally. He said everything except this one little thing, and that is, let's say you own 10,000 XRP and you want the trader to trade 5,000 of that. If you leave it in there in your Coinbase account, all 10,000, and you put XRP in the trader for it to trade, it will suck in all 10,000. So you would have to take 5,000 of that and either move it into the portfolio, establish a portfolio in Coinbase, which separates it, or you send it to a different exchange. So the trader won't suck that in. Okay,
Yep.
so that's one little detail he left out. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Easy to
yep,
walk through
yep,
live with you.
yep,
So,
yep.
And we don't, Carl, we don't leave anybody hanging, or you know what I mean? We all help everybody, you know. And you know, if you ever call me, we'll talk for 3 hours. You know, everybody knows. And you know that. It's true.
well, we've been talking almost directly to Carl for that long. So,
All
Yeah,
right.
but we don't leave anybody hanging. I don't care if you're in Australia or whatever. We will. I talk to they're always amazed. People always tell me I'm amazed that I'm actually talking to the CEO, to the creator. There's no
well,
other company that's like that.
Well, go back to the beginning of my speech. You've got you, the CEO, and the brains behind a multi million dollar product, and then you've got Crypto Casey, who is the best educator in this space that you could
But if we,
actually.
if you let her talk,
Well, if we let, yeah, well, she got to talk for a minute. We'll let her talk for sure. So we've got a couple more questions, Attila, and then we'll turn it over to the Casey show.
Yes. So Mohammed is asking on a down day if you are locked in with the preset coins, doesn't the trader need available money or it keeps available USDC to DCA on the down day?
yes, it keeps whatever money you put in there is all it needs. It never needs more. If you
Right,
want to make more, because 100% of a million is different than 100% of 1,000. A guy with $1 million makes 100%, he made $1 million. A guy with $1,000 gets 100% return, he made $1,000. So the more money in there, the more it'll make. However, you don't need to put more money in there. You can just trade with whatever amount you have, and the software will manage that all the way to the bottom. It'll split it up. So you'll just it it
yeah,
won't use up all your money unless the
yeah, that
coin
money's
drops all
sitting,
the way
remember
down.
that, and that money is sitting on your exchange, not on the trader.
Yes, it's
It's,
sitting on your exchange drawing interest. If you're
right,
in USDC, you're actually drawing, what is it, 4% interest annually. So for whatever excess money the auto trader's not using is sitting there drawing interest.
right. All right. Well, listen, that's pretty much all the questions. If there's any additional questions from Carl, I'm typing in again to everybody, but I want to make sure you see it, our support line. And if you need to call me, you email us first, and then I'll share my phone number and we could set up a Zoom. Not a problem. Um, okay. So with that, Edward, I'll let you kind of finish it off here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do some Casey. Why don't you take it away? Any questions? Any sage information that you want to share? And then in the background, I'm going to do some housekeeping. I'm going to make sure that that everybody has everything that they need, starting with um, starting with our private community, so that you're welcome to join and continue to interact. You can always join us as well on next Saturday, and I'll post Wednesdays if you want to join us on Wednesday. So I just posted whoops, I posted it just to Carl. I just posted the community link, so you
Yep.
can join that. I'm gonna, as Casey's talking, I'm gonna be quiet in the background. I'm gonna post a bunch of stuff, and then I'll come back on at the end and explain what I did. So, Casey, give us some good stuff.
Well, thanks for joining us on Saturday on the weekend. Um, as always, if you have any more questions or curious or just want to hang out, Wednesdays, now we're trying to figure out if Saturdays are also a good day to hang out. Yeah, I mean, it's a very fascinating technology. Uh, when we think about what we're doing with AI anyways, cars are driving themselves or landing rockets on platforms in the middle of the ocean. It's not that much of a stretch to think about something could buy and sell constantly as prices constantly go up and down. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been a good experience for me and other people as far as an addition to other investment strategies. Some people are just doing this, like I think Ed, I think this is his
That's
main
all
thing.
I do.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, join us on Wednesday if you want, if you still have some questions, or talk to Edward Attila, Ed.
Yeah, bring your friends. Bring your friends on Wednesday. We'll be here at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Casey, you'll be back Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I will.
All right, cool.
Casey, as you always know,
Yes.
I have direct questions for you.
Let's do
Have
it.
have you ever seen, for the average person, have you ever seen a system like this available for people just to make money in their sleep?
No, but I think this is what Wall Street, the big institutions do. And if they did have something like this, they would be pretty much taking most of the profit, only giving us maybe 5 to 13% if we're lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that they have over this is that they have the capital and influence to manipulate the market, so they can actually just cheat uh to make money. Whereas we're just riding on their coattails with something like this.
Yeah.
Right.
True. Well, you walked me into my next question. How much of the market do you think is completely automated, and how much of the market do you believe is manipulated?
Ed would know more about the automation because he's automated something, but manipulation, all of it's manipulated.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
That
rigged
lead,
casino.
it is a rigged casino and it's rigged against you. If you
Yep.
play it, that's the I used to be a professional gambler in a prior life, and I can tell you that if you play, the longer you play, the more it's rigged against you. Except for what Casey said, if you caught it before, was that all the big boys out there are manipulating the market. With this tool in place, you cannot be manipulated anymore because you are essentially, if they jump, you jump. If they buy, you buy.
We're
If they sell,
piggybacking
you
what they
sell.
are doing. They are moving the prices in our favor. I'm like, thank you. This demonstrates how much money they are making. Because if we're making money, you know they're making billions.
That's
Because like
true.
I said, about 100% of a billion is a billion. And you know, and so so thank you to BlackRock and Fidelity and Vanguard. Thank you for moving those prices around because I love you for
Yeah,
doing
because
that because
they're
we're
not
doing
buying
what
and
they're doing.
holding. They're not doing extensive research on these companies or stuff and just buying and holding. They are actively moving the market, and that's how they generate income.
And they're having a field day just especially when they push the coins down like this one here. Millions of people sell out at a loss in a panic. But not the Go Baby Trade auto traders. We actually buy more when they do that. And then when it pops like that, we sell everything you own below this price right here, that peak is all that everything you own here would sell off, even though it would have already whatever you bought here would have sold here, whatever you bought here would have probably sold right there. But then it's going to buy it back again right there and maybe sell it there, and then there's wiggles here. So you're always you don't it didn't have to go up here for you to make profit. You're making profit throughout this whole down period.
Yeah, I often say to you, Ed, you have figured out a way to make making money boring.
Hey, Ed, Carl said that as you're explaining all the manipulation, he says, then let's do manipulating also.
We do.
No, I won't do it. I could do a lot of stuff as a programmer, but I do not do anything like that. I could throw fake orders out there automatically all over that level 2 screen. I don't do it.
We
We
don't need
we're
to.
we're 100% straight up.
You don't
Was
need
it
to.
was it like about a year ago that a ton of ACH sold off? And I think most of the people are trading it with GoBabyTrade, and Coinbase was able to handle all the volume, but it was
Oh,
a
tens
lot.
of thousands of orders.
Yeah.
Because we have thousands of clients, and a lot of us are sitting in ACH. And when that coin popped 300% in 5 days, we were sending so many orders. I thought they were going to crash for sure. I saw all those thousands of orders to close. I'm like, but who, think about it, who was sucking up all those shares while we were busy selling it? The big
Yeah.
boys. Because
And,
there had to
and
be buyers on the other end, and they were buying it as fast as we were selling it. The difference is we were selling stuff at a profit.
hey, Ed, we gotta, for a moment, we gotta take you off your pedestal because Mohammed came in and said something that Casey, don't blush now, but he says, I'd like to say something, no offense to the incredible team, but Crypto Casey is ever beautiful.
Oh,
What is it, my
thank you.
complexion?
I appreciate it.
Ed Barsano's like, what am I, chopped liver?
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Well, for those of you that are first timers with us, you see how much fun we have at the same time,
Yeah.
giving you
Yeah, we do.
actionable intelligence, right? As Ed says, you watch CNBC and you see all the suits and talking heads. They're all talking about is the sky blue or green or yellow today? What I hope you take away from this is a lot of good knowledge, but
Well, first off,
most
I want to take
importantly,
off my coat so I don't look
yeah.
like those CNBC people, you know?
Hey,
Mo-
Ed, one more question from Carl, Ed, real quick before we go. Can you explain the $2 million limit? Because he's a little confused on that one. He says if in a day it reaches 2 million, will it stop giving me USDC? That's not really how it works. It's just you can't trade it. Just explain it, Ed, real quick.
Yeah, the auto trader just won't. It's designed for the regular guy. Most people don't have $2 million. We do have clients that have more than that. And they'll open up like $1.5 million in one account and $1.5 million in another account, like Coinbase and Kraken. They'll separate it.
Right.
I
Um,
think Coinbase for individual investors, that's the maximum, right?
is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well,
That's
that's
what I thought it
interesting.
was. I didn't even realize that
Yeah,
you
but we did that just because, I didn't create it for the wealthy. I created it for everyday people who have been getting ripped off their whole life.
Okay, so let's use your example, Ed. Somebody opens an account with $1.5 million, and after 1 year, the value of their account with profits is now over 2 million. What happens to
No,
what's
no, no. What the auto trader is going to do? Oh, here. The auto trader is not going to allow these funds right here. You can have more in your account,
okay?
but these funds that are allocated to each account, to each
Ah,
coin, is not going to exceed 2 million.
that explains it all. That's all I needed
It
to hear.
doesn't
Perfect.
mean you can't make 10 million using the auto trader.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that makes perfect sense then. Thank you for that.
so before I was interrupted, finishing my thought was, I hope your takeaway is realizing we're not talking heads, but we're providing actionable intelligence that has the opportunity to make your life better.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure. So, folks, again, we thank Ed Barsano every week for coming on every Wednesday, and now for the last month, he's come on. We've had this 3 Saturdays in a row. So, thank you, Ed, for your time. I know it's early on Pacific time. Crypto Casey, can't say enough about you. You're the best. We appreciate you so much, and I know your listeners and your subscribers love you. Uh, Edward Pereira. Um,
Sir,
All I could say is thanks again for joining me as my business partner on one of these. It's been a successful call. Carl and Mohammed, thank you for your questions. That was very thorough. And guys, we'll see you Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And all I can say is go forth and multiply your money with GoBabyTrade.
yep. And for the Wednesday, people who want to join us on Wednesday, I just put that registration link
Great.
for that's specifically for Wednesday. If you want to join us again on Saturday, use the exact same link that you used to join us today, and then you have full access to us. Don't don't overlook the power of joining our free community. There's a lot of great people with a lot of great comments. And like I said, occasionally we'll put out special reports, things that continue to be added value, and we hope you become part of the family.
Absolutely. Ed Barsano, final words?
Go Navy.
Go Navy. Crypto Casey, final words.
be safe out there. Have a good weekend.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so
Yep.
much for being here.
All
Thank
right,
you,
see you guys.
Carl, and everybody else. Bye
Yep.
now.
Take care.